Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
All right, welcome to Mostly Sports on a beautiful afternoon here in LA. We're up over 75 degrees. Jay Devlin, how you doing?
I'm great, man. A little feedback there, but no, it's friggin' beautiful out. Played a little basketball tournament yesterday, so I'm in a little bit of pain right now.
We getting a little too old for
Dude,
hoops tourneys,
44 playing in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Not the greatest idea. Luckily, it wasn't like the greatest 3-on-3, if we're being completely honest. There was a lot of easy victories, but we ended up losing in the finals to some young guys who played D1. Still feel like we should have got the victory, but yeah, it was a fun day. Burbank. I spent about 7 hours in Burbank. That's like 6.5 hours too long.
That is so far east for you to go. That's far east for a lot of people to go in LA, but for you, I mean, that's crossing over the 405. The 101 through Hollywood, up over the hill. That is a long way for you to go.
And I Ubered there.
Oh,
I Ubered to Burbank.
Did you go with TJ?
Yeah, we both Ubered together. $31 Uber there.
That's it?
That's it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of traffic either. That was the best part. But it was a fun day. It was good to be out, good to be around basketball. A lot of little kids playing, which was cool. Always fun being around. You're around little kids all the time. I don't get that. I don't get to have that happen to me very often.
You could be around little kids. If you offer to babysit, you could be around little kids whenever you want.
I helped an old lady walk to her car. That was like my good karmic moment.
And you just lost it.
And I lost it when I got fouled on a 3 in the championship game when the score was 12-12 and they didn't give me the call.
Oh.
And I literally was like, dude, I helped an old lady walk to a car. Where's my karma?
Yeah, the ref said, get back, play some defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
I dressed like a golfer today for you, by the way.
I like it.
Masters.
Ping, the 1988 top golf club of 1988.
Love a good ping. I still have a ping putter.
Is Ping still around?
Yeah, I have a ping putter. It's amazing.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening, sharing. We appreciate everyone who shares this. We have a big show today. It's going to be fun. Comedian, actor, director, producer Jamie Kaler is going to be on the show. We're going to have a little bit of insight from another guy from Boston in the green room right now. We're going to bring him in a little bit. He's going to yell at us, I'm sure, about some stuff. Wayne Morse is here. We're sitting in the green room. We're going to have a phone call in a little bit from like number 3 fan of the show. It's probably our moms tied for first, and then Madonna. I purposely did not wear any flannel today because he's going to be calling in. I think he's watching right now. He's going to be calling in. We're going to talk Masters. We're going to talk the NBA playoffs are finally getting close. I think each team has 2, maybe 3 games left. Finally, I know we've been teasing this for weeks, but the season is finally winding down, and baseball is off and running. Some interesting storylines so far. Bryce Harper, really good. Giancarlo Stanton setting historically bad records for the Yankees right now, and I mean that in every sense of the word. Historic awfulness coming out of the Bronx. And it's really cold on the East Coast and Midwest, and they're still trying to play baseball. It looks awful. It looks absolutely brutal. And then hour number 2, like I said, Jamie Kaler's going to be on the show. We're going to have some fun. Another Boston guy. We got to stop with these Boston guys. It's too much. I can't take it anymore. Can't take it. All right, so Monday after the Masters, what are your initial takeaways right now? I know you didn't get to watch nearly as much as you would have liked. But what are your takeaways?
Thankfully for technology, in between games yesterday, I just pulled up the Masters app and I watched on my phone, which was pretty awesome. Initial takes are this. First off, Mike Stranger, thank you for pointing out that the winner of the Masters hits a ping driver.
So they still make them?
Apparently the winner of the Masters plays ping. So,
okay.
My first thought was this. People hate Patrick Reed.
Yeah.
All right, this is my first thought, and everybody loves Ricky Fowler. Everybody, loves Jordan Spieth, and everybody else that was behind them. I love that he won. I love that he stuck it to everybody. He stuck it to the media. He might not be a good guy, all right? I'm not saying he is or he isn't. We're going to dive into his past a little bit at some point here in the next couple minutes, but I don't know. It's just fun. Golf needs this little shakeup. It needs
100%.
It needs the heel turn. Not just the good guy, the good-looking dude up there with his, with his sport coat on, looking like country club. Patrick Reed is like a little short, a little overweight, doesn't talk to his parents, may or may not have gotten kicked out of college for stealing from his roommate. I don't know. I like it. Big fan.
His parents were watching. They weren't there. They were 3 miles away, they said.
He had his dad removed from the Masters like 4 years ago from the course.
I mean, this is the golf. We always talk about the purists versus the new school kind of thing. The purists hate this because of all that little controversy. Just play golf is their thing. Just do it on the course. I mean, the example you use is Happy Gilmore when they're talking about how bad he is and this and that, how awful he is for the game, and then the ratings go through the roof, and then there's that change, and then they start promoting him. This is awesome. Okay, I just loved the storylines. Saturday night, I couldn't stop watching all these storylines between him and Rory, and they were obviously hyping them up as much as possible. He was going for his first Masters. Rory wouldn't say it in the interviews in the press conference, but he was going for a career Grand Slam by 28. That's insane. I don't know if that got played up enough. If he won yesterday, and he'll get there eventually, he would have been on the same list as Jack and Hogan and Tiger and some of these monster names. So the pressure was there, and these guys had their little rivalry going at the Ryder Cup.
Well, it's not really a rivalry because Reed owns Rory McIlroy. Right. Reed owns people in the Ryder
rivalry,
Cup.
Wrong word. A little controversy, a little shake-up. I like it. And then you watching their tee shots on the first. I mean, Rory sent one that was like a Jay Devlin hook. It was the camera guys couldn't find the ball for a good minute or two. It was great. Unbelievable drama. Reed hung on, man. That was the thing. You had these guys nipping at your heels the entire day, and they weren't no names. It was Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth going 9 under on the day. You got these huge guys. Bubba was there, Stenson, McIlroy.
People that don't know John Rahm will know John Rahm by the end. I would say this: if you have a futures bet out there, you can make. John Rahm has been on the radar now for golf fans for the last year and a half. He's going to win a major this year. John Rahm is insanely talented. He had he opened with a 75 and then shot lights out for 3 straight rounds. You're absolutely right. Reed fended off the best of the best, did what he had to do. Back to McIlroy. What an embarrassment. What an abortion of a final round.
I know.
If you look at the leader, if you look at what everybody shot yesterday, it's 95% guys shot under par.
Right.
McIlroy shoots 2 over.
Shot a 74.
And like you said, he's trying to complete the Grand Slam. This is huge for him.
Right.
And, we're going to stay ripping this guy. We're not going to be nice. McIlroy is public enemy number 1 in golf to this show.
Yeah.
He wants to, ban people from drinking on the course and having fun. This guy goes out. He wants everybody to lay down at his feet and just, bow down to him. I couldn't be happier that he shit the bed yesterday.
It was interesting to see, just being a sports fan, these guys, like you said, it was Sunday at the Masters, and every one of these guys from second down to 10 or 12, they were shooting under par. They were delivering when they had to. It was awesome to see. A fun day. I think your boy Rahm, I think he was tied for the lead at one point, or he was one back.
Yeah.
And then Reed, again, just delivered. Anytime I looked at the leaderboard and said, oh, my God, they're getting close. He's going to falter soon. He never did. Then he'd throw out another birdie.
The interesting thing would have been this. So this is an interesting stat, Mike. In the history of the Masters, all right, nobody has ever shot in the 60s for all 4 rounds. It's never, ever happened. There was actually a Vegas line for it this year. I think it was something like, considering it's never happened before, it was kind of a low line, but I think it was 150 to 1. Mm-hmm. That it would happen this year. Reed shot in the 60s the first 3 rounds. He had such a huge lead going into the final round that he didn't really have to take any chances. He just had to kind of had to stay in his lane, do what he does. And he still shot one under, shot 71, and held on. But impressive performance, man. Let's see what it does to him going forward. He has obviously got top 5 talent. He's got a lot of... It'll be interesting to see him now as a major champion when the reporters really start diving into his life. You get more of a free pass when you haven't won a major. Guys will kind of let you stay over in the corner. Now that he's in the spotlight, we're going to find out what happened at Georgia. He says he was dismissed because of alcohol. The former coach says, well, he might have stole from his roommate and been a shitty person.
Right.
Well,
I read, again, Saturday night I kind of did a little deep dive into all this stuff, and the amount of articles I could find about why do people hate him so much, I started reading some of these articles. I'm like, this isn't that bad. This stuff they're talking, he's cocky. He won 3 tournaments within 6 months of going pro.
Yeah.
He wore red on Sunday. God forbid somebody else wears red on Sunday. He was talking about how good he can be. The ego on these guys at this level, we can't fathom. And he came out of the gate hot, and people are hating him. And I've read a few of these articles. I'm thinking, nothing he's doing now is this bad. You're 100% right. Now that he's got a green jacket, We're going to find out because people are diving right now pretty hard.
He's got enough fuck you in him that I think he'll be able to like just be Teflon, and it's not going to stick to him. He's not going to care. He's going to stay in his bubble. He's going to do his thing.
And that's going to make people hate him more.
If you have your family removed from a golf course, like reporters aren't going to bother you. Like that's like so far in his periphery that he won't care. Yeah. I'm personally rooting for the guy. The game of golf needs him.
Well, we got a phone call right now.
Oh,
I think I might know who this is. Caller, who are you? Where are you calling from?
Gentlemen,
oh, wow. This is special.
This is the most excited Jay's been in a long time. And
I'd be more nervous if...
this is by far the best Monday I've ever
had. Nick Madonna, the great Nick Madonna.
What's happening? Can we get some applause for him? Calling in, finally? No? All right. There it is. Nick Madonna calling from Georgia, our Masters expert, calling in to give us a little razzle. I'm sure he's got some stuff for me. But how we doing, Nick? He hung up. Are you kidding me?
He had enough.
That was it. He took the intro and he walked off. That was it? Oh, there we go. All right. He's back. There we
you guys
go.
don't even have a screen. You don't have somebody to screen the calls?
No, we know it's going to be you. Are you kidding me?
Weren't you listening like a couple weeks ago? A couple weeks ago, somebody called in thinking they were calling like some therapist, and asked Mike and I for like spiritual advice. So anybody can call at any time.
Perfect.
What's on your mind, Nick? What's happening?
Nothing, man. I'm flattered that you guys are starting the show off with some golf.
It's a big day today.
It's a good weekend when golf takes top priority on a sports show.
What were your thoughts on yesterday's final round, or just the Masters in a whole?
I loved it, man. But I'm very biased, and I'm obviously part of a minority here that really enjoys watching golf. I mean, I'll sit down and watch golf, even if it's not a major event, and still enjoy it. But I loved it. I loved everything about it.
You were there. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I watched a little bit on Thursday and Friday, but caught a majority of it on Saturday and Sunday. And Sunday back nine was just insanity.
We could talk golf. We could, but you were talking about the good stuff, the sandwiches, pimento and cheese. You were there last year, I believe.
Oh man, the place is insane. The place is absolutely insane. I mean, for anybody, for a bucket list sports fan or not, or golf fan or not, I mean, even if it's not top 5 on your list, you got to get there at some point to just see how pristine it is. I mean, there is literally not a blade of grass at a place at that thing.
Well, the amazing thing that people might not know is that it's so incredibly affordable once you get inside, the ropes of the Masters. Sandwiches are like $2.50, right? And you can get that pimento sandwich for like $1.50.
Exactly. They have cheap beers. Yeah, absolutely. Everything is very inexpensive.
It's becoming kind of mythical if you haven't gone with the no cell phones, nobody's yelling, all the dilly-dilly BS this year. How do they regulate all that stuff once you're inside with the cell phones and all that stuff?
You actually have to check it in. One year I went for practice round, and they let you actually take your phone in. But normally they'll have like these little lockers, and you just check your stuff in, and they'll do the wand and the pat down before you go in. But nobody really regulates you once you're there. It's just literally once you're inside that place, it's just treated like such a temple that you don't want to be that asshole that screams anything. There's such a feeling about it. It's very bizarre.
I feel like they police themselves there. Like the fans are just kind of like, if you get out of line, somebody's going to look at you like, what the fuck are you doing? Like we're at the Masters. We're not at the Valspar Open. All right, this is the Masters.
Right.
There's decorum. There is pay attention to the rules.
Management, yeah.
I like it. What are some takeaways as far as so? The one thing I hear, I've never been, it's definitely the top of my bucket list, is when you get there, the cameras don't do it justice. Is how hilly it is. It's just like up down, up down. It's pretty accurate.
It's it's deceivingly long, and it's kind of in this basin kind of valley. It's removed from everything else. I mean, literally just carved it away from everything. And I'm telling you, man, they must spend literally 11 plus months getting this ready for this 1 week of playing, because it's just in such pristine shape.
How did they let you in there last year?
My first year, I think I was wearing jorts. I think, for that practice round.
At least you weren't dressed like a golfer. That is my biggest pet peeve. Yeah,
No, the pet peeve, yeah, absolutely, Jay. When people are wearing golf shoes to a golf tournament and not playing in said tournament, that's where I draw the line.
well, you're obviously a big golf fan. Let's go back to the conversation about Patrick Reed and about all the guys that were chasing him yesterday. Where do you fall in that argument? Were you rooting for the Spieths or the Fowlers, or were you like, fuck it, Patrick Reed? Let's make some history.
No, because I heard all those stories too. I got a friend that's constantly sending me stuff about different golfers. He's really into this, and Reed's just a total piece of shit. I mean, like you guys have mentioned, just getting his parents kicked out of a tournament, and like just a real scumbaggy kind of guy, like cheating on the course, stealing from teammates. And you could kind of feel that even with the applause that he would get after, making a birdie or a par yesterday. Like, they were like, Even the crowd was like, I don't really like this guy, but I guess I have to applaud him for,
people on the first tee. Rory got an uproarious roar, and then
so great
he got nothing.
For golf, though. This is exactly what golf needs. Golf needs a bad guy. It needs its John McEnroe. It needs somebody that people are just going to be like, God, this guy sucks.
He called himself Captain America in the press conference, and everyone in the press room was like, no.
He's the
next question.
I mean,
he's the best Ryder Cup player we've had in 20 years. Let's be honest.
He does. And you know what, Joe, you're right. I mean, you do need that intensity. But, I was thinking the other day, too, because someone was talking about Tiger, and Tiger was different when he came on because he had all this intensity versus the people he was playing with, like Steve Elkington and Ernie Els, these people with no personality. But now you have a slew of these guys that play with emotion. They play these raw games. They're shooting 63, 64s with this raw emotion, and they're showing it. And you don't really need a Tiger anymore. You do need a villain, yes, but I mean, you got plenty of assholey people on that tour. Dustin Johnson doesn't have a lot of fans. Kind of scummy. A bunch of.
He's got a smoking hot
people.
Fiance. And let me ask you a question: How long can you fiance Paulina Gretzky up?
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously.
I mean, what a baller move by Dustin Johnson. That like, hey, look, let's get engaged, but we're not going to get married for a couple years.
Is it a ball? Is it a baller?
That's a ball. No, they're not even married yet. They've been engaged for like 2 years. He's doing something right, man.
Out of multiple kids too. Yeah.
Multiple kids. Hasn't had to put a ring on it yet. I don't know.
Not bad.
Seems like he's playing chess to me.
Nikki, thank you for calling in, man.
No, real quick. Don't run away yet.
I was trying to get him out of here.
We're not getting Nick off the show before Nick tells a story about you from Bronxville High School. You got to be kidding me.
Oh, no.
I've already bored everybody to fucking sleep.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about the Masters, Mike. People want to hear about you when you were like 14, 15 years old.
That's so boring.
Running around with your frosted
so
tips.
Boring.
Backstreet Boys blaring on your Sony.
What do you want to know about this guy?
Just a quick anecdote. If you have like a funny story about Mike that'll make him feel slightly uncomfortable, that would be fantastic.
Oh man, I love to bust his balls all the time, but to put me on the spot like that is really tough. He's just always been incredibly gracious to my ribbing of him. We've been going back and forth for 20 plus years now. You think it'd get a little old, but I wish I could tell you something. I mean, obviously the earlier pictures speak for themselves. I mean, the spiked hair, the gold,
the turtlenecks.
The gold tip.
This guy's got pictures, man, from like third grade.
Sweaters. I mean,
was Mike the ladies' man?
I'm really surprised he got laid at all. It's really shocking that anybody,
With you as my wingman, with you and Farrell as wingmen, forget it. So I'm shocked I got laid too.
I'm surprised anybody lost their virginity.
Well, Nick, if somebody made me make a list of the top 3 reasons I still stay on Facebook, you'd be in the top 3 for what you do to Mike on Facebook because, like, I live for it. You absolutely destroy him. You're hysterical.
I'm flattered. It's easy work sometimes. It's easy work.
All right, dude. Thank you so much for calling in. Good talking to you. Take your son out here.
It. Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
Nick.
You guys have a great day.
Get Max out here sometime this summer. We'll talk.
What a legend.
All right, sounds good.
All right, later.
All right, bye, guys.
Later, brother. You're now my second favorite person to ever go to Bronxville High School.
I know.
Sorry about that.
I feel like I already was. That's all right.
He just confirmed it.
That was good.
What a great
I'm
day.
glad he called in. He's awesome. Yeah, we have someone in studio right now too.
He's been with us since the beginning.
From the get-go. Like again, we always talk about some of our biggest fans. He is in the conversation. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but like he's in that conversation.
I don't know. Is he a fan or does he just have Stockholm syndrome? He just kind of like he's sympathizing with his captors at this point?
He might be. That might be it. But again, he's been there from the beginning. Casting director extraordinaire. And again, another a-hole, masshole Boston fan who we have on our show, Mr. Wayne Morse. What's up, bud?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How we doing?
Good. I'm hungry after talking about that pimento cheese. I'm dying to try that.
It's
because
become
you have
like
no food in the green room whatsoever. There's no food.
We'll make some call. We didn't realize the big guns were coming in today.
And then there's a refrigerator that says complimentary water, and you open it up. There's no water in there at all.
There were 2 cases of water in there.
There's no water in there at all.
You want one? We got water.
I'm just saying. I didn't get the drive on. I didn't get the Ted Danson spot in the lot. I mean.
We tried to get you a drive on. We got another guest. He got the drive on today. We can't even get a drive on.
We don't even have a drive on.
A little messed up that you wait till the Sox are 8-1 to come on the show. I'm sure that was.
That's just
5-5.
That's just coincidence. And I'm not even talking about that because there's 152 games left. So, I mean, it's not how you start; it's how you finish. So, I mean, they're just lucky that. This is the first time in franchise history that they've started the season 8-1.
Yeah.
They lost their first game. I'm like, all right, here we go. And then, I don't know, they pulled it together, and now they've run off 8 straight wins.
See, that's an amazing stat to me. You think about like the legacy and the history of the Red Sox. The fact that they've never been 8-1 before is amazing to me.
Yeah, they were the original. They were one of the original teams that started in the American League, and to not go 8-1, like I had to look back at that. I'm like, really? Is that true? And it was. It was like really true.
You texted me that last night.
Yeah.
And I had to right away bust your balls back about it. But I'm reading that. And I was like, that can't be right. That's crazy.
What I thought. I'm like, of all the seasons they've had over the years, never 8-1. Not even when they had Babe Ruth with them, they weren't 8-1 back then.
But we say this every year, right? So it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks into any season. A team gets off to a good start or a bad start, and we like to just sweep it under the rug and say, well, it's early.
Yeah.
A long way to go. But then you fast forward like a month or two in, and a team is still struggling. You always point back, or if they're thriving, you point back to their start. And you say, you know what? They really built on that 8-1 start. Or that 2-7 start really fucked them, and that really gave them a negative mindset. So 8-1, hey, I'd rather be them than the Phillies.
Those 8 wins will come September when we need those 8 wins, and we're looking to win the AL East. Those 8 wins will count back then. So you never know.
We have days off today. I think you guys do as well, and then we start a series.
We start a series in Boston tomorrow. Yeah, you guys are 5-5. And bring on John Carl Stanton. I love it.
Well, Stanton, by the way, set this record. I want to throw
this
this
stat out. He set the record.
Out.
Yeah, I was reading that last night, and I saw that in SportsCenter. Yeah.
He's the first player in history. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about history in like NFL, what's it like 30, 40 years? Not a big deal. Right. Baseball goes back to like 1892.
Yeah.
So he's the first player in history to have 2 games in the same season with 0 hits and 5 strikeouts. That stat alone is pretty impressive, considering that the season is a week and a half old.
Right.
That blows it out of the water.
Yeah, it does.
That's insane.
I know.
He has more strikeouts last week. He had 16 than Joe DiMaggio did in 1941. He had 13.
That's ridiculous.
But like you said, he people ask him about it. He said, I'm not getting off to a hot start. And then you look at Bryce Harper. He's breaking every record right now.
Right.
6 home runs, 12 RBIs. That hasn't been done since, I believe, Jim Thome and Barry Bonds in the first 10 days. So guys start out hot, some start out cold.
Look at this Ohtani guy for the Angels. He's had what 4? He had 3 home runs. He's a pitcher. He had 3 home runs. He's got like a 2.3 ERA or something.
Well, yesterday 12 strikeouts, 1 hit, 7 innings.
Yeah. He almost had a no-hitter.
Almost
had a perfect game.
It's a great start for baseball in general, I think. Even you talk about the Yankees struggling a little bit, that's a storyline. I mean, the Yankees are a storyline regardless, but guys like Ohtani, the Red Sox doing well. Even the Phillies, I'm talking about Kapler way more than I want to.
Gabe Kapler?
Yeah.
Gabe the Babe. He used to play for the Sox.
They are, he is not having a great start as manager, and he is making everybody hate everything about he encompasses everything that sucks about baseball nowadays with the math of it all.
Yeah.
And just everything is situational. Well, the 75% of the time this guy's going to hit the ball here, so there's just no soul to how he manages, and that is not going over very well in Philadelphia.
It's a shame because Philly's riding high right now. You got the Sixers; they're won 13 straight now.
Oh, well, I mean,
dude, what are you doing, Wayne? You listen to the show enough not to do this.
They're coming off the Eagles,
and Villanova,
and Villanova, and now you got.
I've never seen him smile that. I've never seen that smile on him before. It was like a little proud smile.
They're going into the play. I mean, there's 2 games left in the season for everybody else. the West is still fighting for that meat part of the middle there with 8, trying to get in. Like they have to win the rest of their games and so on that. But I mean, the East is pretty much set. You know who's going to play who and so on.
The West is going to be nuts the last couple nights because you can basically be the number 5 seed right now and be out come Wednesday.
That's true.
But the Sixers, man, I mean, I said it a month ago, and I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and but they're making it to the East Finals. They've done all this. They've won 14 straight without Embiid. Ben Simmons is playing.
Ben Simmons he's like a young LeBron to me. He's
doing everything.
Plays the way LeBron plays. He's like a young LeBron.
Right now, you got the Heat. What do you do here? The Heat is your pick. That's your dark horse pick.
Well, that was my dark horse, and that's who they'd play in the first round.
Today, yeah,
they'd play the Heat. We need the Heat to win one more game, by the way,
dude.
To
I know.
win and they play OKC tonight, which is going to set a tough matchup.
4-point dogs.
Yeah, that's
so
tough.
Real quick. Putting that aside, I said something last week about OKC, about how I would not want to play them in the playoffs. You thought that was an absolute joke. That game against Houston the other night, and granted, Houston is locked in, and I knew that was going to be your defense. They are locked in, but Paul and Harden, those guys played their asses off to try and win that game at the end. I live bet OKC because I thought Paul and Harden were not going to give a shit about this game and not going too hard. They busted their ass. I ended up winning those bets because OKC won that game despite Russell Westbrook jacking up threes on 20 seconds into the shot clock, but I still would not want to play that team.
I love that you're saying this, yet they're like an inch away from being out of the playoffs altogether.
Yeah, that'll hurt my argument.
Yeah,
that'll hurt my argument if they don't make it.
Look, OKC is this is a true test for them. They're on the road in Miami. Miami's in the playoffs, but they're playing to win a division title, and they're playing to win us.
No, the test was Friday night when they beat Houston in Houston. Nobody's winning in
Houston. It doesn't matter. Houston does not care at this point.
But they did. That's what I was watching for. They did. They cared. They've lost 7 games at home all season. They cared.
OKC, when they are firing on all cylinders, are very scary, but they're only firing on all cylinders like once a week. That is the fucking point. Melo actually played like a decent first half in that game.
I think Melo was still playing.
It's shocking. I think he had 14 points in the first quarter. But the West is going to be fun the last 2 nights. But back to the Sixers real quick. A quick point into Patrick Reed. I hate Ben Simmons as a human being. Really? Like, he's fantastic. Yeah. I have a really hard time rooting for him because he just seems so incredibly unlikable. Got asked yesterday if he's Rookie of the Year, gave like a dickhead response. Oh, 100%. Hey, Ben, what other rookies have impressed you? None. Who is he, fucking Drago? Dude, just be nice. I thought Australian people were cool. He might be the biggest jerk of an Australian I've ever seen in my life.
They made him go to college for a year, and he didn't even make the tournament.
Well, I saw AI sitting in the stands there, so maybe AI's coaching him or something.
AI was a good dude, man. AI was a lot of fun. AI had nice things to say about people. Practice.
Last time you guys won 50 games was back in the AI days when you guys went to the finals in 01.
Yeah, they lost in 5 games.
Look, I'm not saying trade Ben Simmons. I want him to stay there. I'm just saying he just seems like such a dick.
Who cares about that? Why do we care about this so much? Patrick Reed just won the Masters, and we're talking about what a dick he is. Who cares?
Okay, but there's a good conversation there, though. You're a Red Sox fan. You're a Yankee fan. Do you care more about your team winning, or do you care more about liking your players on your team?
Team winning.
Or is there a combination of the two?
I don't have to I don't have to be in love with the players. I root for the team. So
he had A-Rod,
and that's old. But that's an old school way of thinking.
Super unlikable.
Now these kids they like Curry, and if they're Warriors fans and Curry gets traded, which would never happen,
they'll follow him.
Then they'll follow him to San Antonio or Milwaukee, wherever he goes, and that's the way it is now. That we couldn't have dreamed of doing that when we were kids.
All right, how about this though? All right, Red Sox fans, we talked about this with Happy once. You have David Price.
Yeah.
He's incredibly unlikable.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
There's got to be a small part of you that when he gets the win, you're kind of like, all right, I'm glad the Sox won, but God, that guy's such a dick.
I said on the show a while ago, this is 3-4 years, you were giving me shit about liking the Dodgers. This is when Puig was coming up and Turner and all these guys and Seager, and I'm like, it's tough to explain, but I'm still a diehard 100% Yankee fan, but I like this Dodger team. The guys, better. I don't care about what Jacoby Ellsbury and Mark Teixeira were doing on Saturday night. Back then, I didn't give a shit. I'm still a Yankee fan. I'm still wearing something Yankees every day. But, the Dodger guys are more fun.
What are you wearing Yankees right now?
I actually just took it off. I realized I had it off.
See,
I have this Yankee
that's the
bracelet.
difference. See, I mock up my body with the I got the Boston Red Sox tattoo on my body. I don't just wear the hat or T-shirt.
I just took it off, actually, this morning. I have a Yankee thing.
If you got a Yankees tattoo, where would it be?
Dude, I don't have any tattoos.
What if you had to get one?
If I had to get one?
Your bicep with some like barbed wire around it? What are we talking here? Like
That would have been like Giambi style. I don't know. Somewhere where you wouldn't be able to see it too much.
Okay.
I don't know. I get like a flaming eagle on the back. We're holding up the Yankees with the Empire State Building in the other.
Oh, wow. Now we're talking.
All right, we're going to keep it moving right now. Real quick, give us your prediction. Celtics, what are they going to do in the playoffs?
Now that Kyrie's out, and it's they won't even get past the first round. I don't think they'll get past it because we have Milwaukee in the first round, and we won't even get past them. It's just Kyrie was the heart of the team, even though a lot of people stepping up like Morris and Rozier came into his own this year. He's a free agent after this, not next year, but the year after, and they got to start thinking long term. He's 24 years old, and they got to think about locking him down because I think that's the heart of the team right there with Rozier. But the winner's going to come out of the West, I think, for the NBA championship, and it's going to be Houston. So
okay, I put a bet today that Cleveland is going to win.
No, Cleveland's not going to win.
What'd you get?
They're fighting for the.
7-1.
They're fighting for
A little low.
the. They're fighting for the third spot right now. Cleveland. They're in battle trying to get the third.
But if
spot.
you
Over the
look,
Sixers, yeah.
if you look at this just minefield in the West, whoever gets to the finals is going to be so beat up and dead at that point. And Cleveland's going to have a nice, easy road.
Why is it
I
a
think.
minefield? Dude, the West is fucking trash, dude.
But it's not,
It is
dude.
absolute trash.
There's only two teams out of the West you got to
two
worry about.
teams in the West
Golden
that are
State
good.
and
That's
Houston.
not true. That's not true. That's going to
it
be
is.
tough, man.
Oh, stop with that narrative.
Even if
It's not
Houston has to go up against
2014.
Minnesota, you're going to have to go up against Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns. That's
Jimmy
not
Butler.
that easy of a series.
That
It's the East
That
Coast
is
that's going to
not
get
that.
battered.
Then
and-
you win that, and you play maybe either Portland or the Pelicans. You were going nuts about Portland last week.
I think
you were
Portland's
going
good.
nuts about the Pelicans.
I love the Pelicans.
Then you win that,
I
and
love
then
the
you have to
Pelicans.
play Golden State. They're
love-
pretty good.
That's
a tough Western Conference final. That's going 7 games regardless. And then what's your prize? You get LeBron?
Jimmy Butler, that historic
All I'm saying
NBA
is I made the
winner.
bet. I
What's Jimmy
disagree.
Butler ever won?
I disagree with everything I'm saying, but I like that bet because Cleveland will be in the finals this year.
Look, the
Cleveland
West
will be
is
in the
trash. I appreciate your passion.
If you can get 7-1 on a final,
the
series, you
only
take it.
team in that West that's mildly scary outside of Houston and Golden State is Utah. Utah is frightening. They have an identity. They play a certain way. They play great defense. Rubio's playing fantastic. They could definitely do some damage.
Interesting stat about Utah. You
Yes.
want to hear it?
Fire.
You ready?
Yeah.
They are the 5th team since seeding began in 1983 to make the postseason with a rookie leading them in points per game. The others, Chuck Person, David Robinson, Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony.
Wow.
Carmelo again.
I mean, that's the thing. Ben Simmons deserves Rookie of the Year. He's been amazing. But any other year, Donovan Mitchell walks away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had an incredible rookie year. Back to the East real quick. Celtics had a great conversation at my game on Saturday with a couple Celtic fans, and they've already moved on from this season, as you have, apparently, and they've already gone on to this Kawhi Leonard thing. So they've been on the trade machine, and they're like Jaylen Brown, Terry and Rozier for Kawhi. How would that make you feel as a Celtic fan?
I'd be pissed. It'd be like getting rid of Garoppolo for the Patriots. I'd be pissed. I'm like, what are you thinking? Why would you even want to do that? I'm still reeling from the Garoppolo trade. I still can't get over that.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt in a couple
How many
years.
years left does Brady have, realistically?
2 at the most.
To live?
If he's lucky.
Yeah.
If he's lucky, I mean, if he can get through this season, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be. I mean, it's a fire sale going on there in Foxborough, getting rid of everybody. So
A lot of news coming out this morning, actually, about the hatred between Gronk and Belichick.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Yeah.
Interesting story that, and I listened to an interview with Ray Lewis about this, and Ray Lewis is one of the best, but like
He hates the Patriots.
Gronk is
one of the best
Gronk,
murderers.
Gronk wants to get on
White beaters?
He's getting more and more of your guys are getting on Brady's. What's his name? Guerrero.
Yeah.
They're getting on his plan, and
yeah,
Belichick's like, no. We've hired a whole training staff here.
Right.
You guys can't say fuck you to these guys.
Right.
But Brady's doing something right. You know,
The he'll be 41 when he starts playing next year. So
does Gronk, is he playing for the Patriots after Week 6 next year? Not being hurt, but just
Yeah. Well, he's the thing about Gronk. He's never had a complete season where he's played, injury free. Never has since he started. And I think he's thinking he's a performer. I think he wants to come to Hollywood. He wants to get into the acting thing. He wants to. That's his thing.
Yeah.
So,
and nothing wrong with that.
no, I'd like to see him come to the Rams. I'd like to see him come to the Rams, and I'd be happy with that. I'm looking forward to seeing the Rams play.
These Ram fans are going to be fucking intolerable this year.
It's
They already are intolerable.
I had someone say, "Oh, dude, aren't you happy you got Dominic Sue?" I'm like, "What? Dominic Sue? Dominic, you're a Rams fan?
Sounds like a Rams fan.
Yeah. We interviewed Dominic Sue.
Oh, there's Gronk on the TV there. There he is.
Yeah.
Didn't he just get cast in a movie, Gronk? I thought I saw that on like the Hollywood Reporter or something.
Probably.
That's
he's,
the guy
he's
to
doing,
ask.
He's doing commercials, right? I see him pop up in commercials all the time. So
Yeah, he's doing WrestleMania.
He's getting his feet wet doing that stuff. So I'm sure he's preparing.
There was something ridiculous. It wasn't after the Parkland shooting, but there was something kind of serious going on in the country. And I'm watching like Instagram stories, and it's CNN, it's all these important things, and this and that. And then one of the stories in the middle was Gronk, and he's just drinking a beer, going, "Ah!" and that was it. And then they go back to like CNN talking about. Just like,
Brady
that's Gronk,
had this talk
man.
with him. I'm sure hey, you got to cut out the partying a little bit if you want to have longevity in this. In this career, being a career football player, you've got to cut out the party and get on my program. And I'm sure that's what he did. He cut out the drinking, cut out the.
But it's obviously very tough for him to stick with it.
Oh, it's very tough for him to stick with it. Different personalities.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady's married. He's got a family. Gronk's single. I mean, he's a good-looking guy.
Single, young.
Yeah, but Brady was probably always a fucking buzzkill, even before he was married with kids. Like once a buzzkill, always a buzzkill.
Yeah,
I don't think Brady just flipped a switch at 35.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hot take. I don't think Gronk has a lot of range as an actor. just throwing it out there.
He's going to go to Brian Bosworth of School of Acting.
We'll take Bosworth because you know what? That new movie, Cockblockers, it can't be worse than watching John Cena try and actually act. Just be John Cena. That's who you are.
Yeah.
All right, quick tangent. Top of your head. Best athletes that became actors or made cameos in movies. I got one. I'm going to say Ray Allen.
I was just thinking
That's
Ray
my number
Allen.
one.
But that's too serious.
But that's what makes it harder.
That's good. Yeah, Ray Allen's great in that. Are you kidding?
What do you got?
You took
next.
mine.
Okay.
All right, Wayne, you got one?
Yeah.
I gotta say Shaq and Blue Chips.
Oh, Neon Bordeaux.
Yeah,
Nice.
Shaq and Blue Chips.
LeBron did a film like 2 years ago, and he surprised me.
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck, yeah.
It wasn't bad.
And
he was better than what's her name in the star
he
of
was
the
much
movie.
better than her, Amy
She
Schumer.
sucks.
Yeah, and she's got a new movie. I was just watching the trailer now, and there was a guy doing a scene with her, and I'm like, this guy's so good, I got to call him in. But I thought he did a really good job in that. I thought, yeah, he was good. So I have to go with the LeBron and Trainwreck. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go Mark Harmon in Summer School.
But that's so old.
Yeah.
Like
That is
that is great. Mark
is
Harmon's
great.
phenomenal.
But I don't think of him as an athlete as much as I think. I know that, but I
Not
don't
a pro
think
athlete, though.
1960s.
I don't think
Yeah.
of him as an athlete as much as I think of him as an actor.
What was he? UCLA.
Yeah.
If you want to go
UCLA?
true athlete that was in a film like LeBron James or Shaq before he was Shaq, right?
Yeah.
People didn't realize he was, Shaq when he did Blue Chips. He was just
Kazam.
Shazam.
Shazam. All right. There's been something when you said you were coming on. There's been something I wanted to do with you.
Yeah.
We normally do
Fred
this
Dreyer
at
and
the
Ed
end.
Marinero. I was gonna say Fred Dan Marino, Ace Ventura.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one.
I'm sure if we really thought
yeah.
about this, there
Yeah.
could be some of those like Marino-esque Ace Ventura ones with like a couple of lines that we're not thinking of right now that are just total gems.
Right, but those guys didn't like Marino. That was just like a cameo, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
said a few
Laces
lines
out,
like you
Dan.
said. But I mean, LeBron James, like he had great scenes.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There was scenes
It was
going.
him. Oh yeah, Bill Hader was his doctor. They were talking. Yeah.
It was good scenes.
All right, we normally do this at the end with everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've heard this
Million
the
times.
rapid five, 100 times.
It's like the actor studio when James Lipton has the conversation.
It's called
at the
you
end.
James Lifton.
He called us the actor studio.
I did, yeah.
That's pretty
Wow.
solid. Coming from him, that's
Let's
big.
take it.
Love those questions. Hate that guy, but what are you gonna do?
By the way, I'm in the minority here.
About
I'm not wearing a golf vest.
I know,
from
right?
either Ping or the Shark.
The shot.
Greg Norman.
we're playing 9
Look
to
at you
Penmar
guys.
after this.
Yeah.
Did you have a tough time deciding what you're going to wear to come on the show today?
No, actually, it was just chilly down in Venice where I live, so I just threw this on because it was kind of.
It's a long way to go. Venice to Hollywood.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
We should have carpooled.
Yeah.
I live in Santa Monica.
So
You're in Santa Monica. Where are you in Santa Monica?
4th in California.
Okay, 4th of California. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like a block from Abbot Kinney, 3 blocks on the beach in Venice. So
That area. How long have you lived there?
This is like an episode of the Californians, by the way.
7,
Not listening to this.
7 years. the house I'm in now is 2, and then before that I was in a house for 5 years, but they raised the rent 46%.
Oh, fucking Venice, man.
Venice is just getting out of control with the rent increases. Cause now that Snapchat's leaving, maybe everything will, they're selling off all their buildings that they bought.
I think Snapchat's coming down towards me.
They're going to Santa Monica.
Oh, they are?
I'm
Yeah.
screwed. I got to
okay.
move.
Off Ocean Park.
I'm moving to
bought a
Burbank.
Huge
Really?
complex. Yeah, a huge complex.
Have
over
you
there.
been to the new food spot on Venice right around the corner from Lemonade called Airly or something like
Oh,
that?
Erewhon.
Erewhon.
Yeah, with all the homeless camped out in front of it.
Are they really?
I was just driving by the other day, and they finally have a dump truck there with police just cleaning that whole thing out. I'm like, finally. But yeah, there was like 12 of them.
The rents are going up in Venice.
The rents are going up in Venice.
I've heard 20 people reference this place. Erewhon? Is that what it's called?
Erewhon, yeah.
And it's a food place, like a Whole Foods kind of, right? There's like healthy food.
It's like a fancier Whole Foods and more expensive.
more
Whole
expensive.
Foods.
I haven't heard one person reference the food. I've heard 20 people reference the amount of insane smoke shows.
Oh.
Walking through there with yoga mats.
Yeah.
And just like, man, like it's the best talent in LA, this
Yeah.
place, Erewhon. I don't know if the food's good, but
Food's all right.
The Whole Foods Venice is a site, too.
Yeah.
It was the best Whole Foods, I think.
Yeah, it is the
I
best,
can't believe
yeah.
we're actually talking about this. But it was, I mean, like you said, just smoke shows walking around.
we go in a lot
Jeez.
of directions, Mike.
All right. So there's 2 things I want to do. We're going to do a rapid 5 with you,
Okay.
which has become like the rapid 16.
Okay.
But I want to give you a chance too, because we always do this, and you had to sit in traffic to come up here. Are there any rants you want to go on while you're on the air?
I was thinking about this. Then I got here and I saw the no food in the green room, and I thought that was my rant. And the no water where it says complimentary waters in the refrigerator, that was my rant. But coming here I'm driving along Venice. I took Venice. Usually I take Palms Boulevard and I cut over on Olympic and go that way. But I took Venice, and I hate when I'm driving along and someone just pulls out in front of me. There's no cars behind me, but they got to pull out in front of my fucking car and then don't even speed up. They just slowly drive along. I'm like, but there's no cars behind me. I can't stand that.
If you're going to jump out in front, I've been gotten fired up at that, but then they've stepped on the gas and taken. I'm like, good.
That's fine.
Good for you, man.
Step on the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't cut somebody off like that, and then just drive slow. That bugs the hell out of me. That and that guy who sells Chevys. Those are the 2 things that bug me.
Yeah, me too. Did you watch that thing I told you to watch?
No. Oh, I forgot.
YouTube.
But I'm
Yeah.
never calling that guy. And if his agent ever pitches me, I'm like, I'm not bringing him in.
Lose my number.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
All right. Well, so you just said bring them in. For those of you guys who don't know, I mean, you listen to the show all the time. We could talk sports all day.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit.
Right.
People love the Hollywood stories.
I got tons
And when
of
we
them.
have Marcus on, he said a few things. I needed to slow him down and say, tell everybody what on tape for producers is and this and that, a few certain things. Any stories you want to share? Just because, I mean, you've seen a lot from the other side of what we see. Wayne's a casting director.
Casting director, I've been doing it for 17 years, casting features. Started out as an actor, did what Scova did. I just didn't have the heart. I just couldn't do it. You know what sucked? I hated driving to auditions. I hated traffic.
Yeah.
If there was no traffic, I probably would still be an actor. But I just
So you got to get a scooter, man.
Yeah, got to get the scooter. But I've cast probably like 50, 60 films. I worked for somebody for 14 years and then started my own company 3 years ago. But I did Training Day and Requiem for a Dream and Sin City, Bad Santa. I mean, Any Given Sunday, one of my favorite films to cast with Pacino, sitting in the room with him and
Oliver Stone?
Yeah, I'm trying to block out his name because he turns a 2-hour casting session into 4 hours. But yeah, sitting in a room with those 2 together, it was just like unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean Pacino, Scarface. You know?
I like how you're dropping your R's.
Scarface. I mean, it's just amazing just sitting in the room with them. You know, it's funny too because the more famous they are that come in and sit in a room with a casting director, the more they open up. And I'm like, I got so many stories that I could sell to TMZ that would blow their mind. But because they think they're in the confines of a confessional, like something out of Real World, they start telling stuff about their life.
Why? Because they're on the other side of the camera. They're behind it, and they're just comfortable hanging with you? Or?
Yeah, just comfortable. But even before we put them on tape for something, like, you talk to them and kind of get them comfortable. And
you
everything.
mean the act? Oh, I thought you were talking about like sitting back here with Pacino and Stone.
No.
Talking to them. Oh, you're talking about
like
bringing them in to read.
Yeah, like
okay.
Krista Allen or Jenny McCarthy. It's stuff that they tell you before the camera rolls. It's like it blows your mind. It's like they open up to you about personal stuff because they think it's a confessional. Like I said, something out of Real World. I don't know.
Like what? Give us some stuff. You don't need to say Jenny McCarthy's name, but
Well, if I talk about it now, you're gonna know it's them. what's some of the stuff? I was in Any Given Sunday doing an audition with Pacino. We were doing a chemistry read, and chemistry reads where we bring in an actor who is supposed to be a lead in the film, and there's already an actor that's already attached to the film. So we bring in and we do chemistry reads, and there's one actor, I'm not going to say who he is, but in the middle of doing a scene with Al Pacino in the room, his cell phone rings. And he answers the phone in front of... This is
the actor who did not have the part yet, by the way?
Did not have the part.
Pacino's attached?
Yeah, Pacino's attached. And you just see how the chemistry goes between them in the room. And he answers his cell phone in the middle of doing a Pacino.
Get out of here.
Yeah, answers his cell phone.
That's ballsy.
How many people on the other side of the camera for a chemistry?
It was just me and my boss at the time, and then Oliver Stone, and it's just crazy. And
did he tell Pacino to hold on while he got his
he
phone?
did a hand gesture.
Hey, yo, Al.
Chill
out, Al.
Wow.
I'll be with you in 1 minute, Al.
And it's funny because that guy wound up getting the role, and then like about a month into filming, he got fired, and then they got their second choice.
Oh, I know exactly who it is then. Okay. So now, but this is a guy who, I don't want to say is bigger than Al Pacino, but like
he's big in his industry, in his own.
In his industry, he's a mogul.
Yeah.
But he might have been like, they're happy that I'm here right now.
And he's trying to, break into the acting scene kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
okay. That's a good one. That's a great one. Are you kidding?
It's a great one, yeah.
Jeez.
This question's along the same line. So, like, there's a lot of famous people who turn shit down, like Sean Connery turned down Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Will Smith turned down The Matrix. So is there anybody, like, in any of these big movies you did that turned something down that nobody knows about?
Gosh, no, because most of the projects I've worked on, like, name actors wanted to be a part of it. But, I remember when I remember forcing somebody who we thought was going to be really big, did a film called A Perfect Getaway, which was David Toohey, who wrote the Pitch Black series, which was great movies, Pitch Black. And we had to force this actor on him. And this actor wound up being a huge star, and the director's like, "Nah, I don't see him in the role. And he wound up being a huge star. He wound up being part of the Marvel universe, and we had to say this guy's going to be big someday."
Can we say who that is?
I don't want to say.
Okay. You can just go on the internet and figure it out.
Yeah,
the internet, the Google machine.
The Google machine.
You call it. All right.
Yeah.
Any of those stories you got, please, because I love them.
Sure.
He loves them. Everyone who listens, those are great. I love seeing the lineage of who passed on this and that and this and that and that, and then you get down to the 12th choice, and now the person's a big star.
Yep.
Because 12 people turned it down.
Sure, yeah.
I love that stuff.
I know, that is good stuff.
I need that to happen to me.
How do you not know anything about me? I'm referencing Mike Scavoti's work for those people that are listening out there.
That was a line from a movie a long time ago.
It's one of my favorite lines that he does. How do you not know anything about me? I love that line.
All right, we're going to go rapid fire with you real quick.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, sure.
If you could take a sauna with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
Many times he had scenes in the sauna, so I'd like to talk to him in there.
It's like a sauna in here.
It's like I'm going through this thing like water.
Favorite sports moment? Don't say
the
the 04 Sox.
I was going to say it has to be the 04 Sox.
Yeah,
we were down 3-0, 3 outs away from losing, and Dave Roberts hits that.
Yeah, we know what
steals
happened.
second base.
We know what happened.
It was just, after all those years, it was just amazing, to finally 86 years of frustration. Because I was a Sox fan. My dad and I didn't get along, but the only thing we did bond over was going to the Sox game, and he took me there. And it was like as young as I can remember, and going to Fenway Park, which is one of the few ballparks that is like such an experience, kind of like Wrigley Field is, and it's just a memory. And then finally getting that win was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. You're on an island. You have one CD. What is it?
Pearl Jam's 10.
Okay.
Pearl Jam's 10. Yeah.
What's your meal if you're on death row? Your last meal.
I love egg salad sandwiches. I have to go with egg salad.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I love egg salad sandwiches.
You ever have one at the Apple Pan?
No.
Known for its burger, but a fantastic egg salad sandwich.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
What's your mayonnaise to egg ratio?
It's going to be a lot of mayo.
A lot of mayo. Okay,
I
good.
liked a lot of mayo.
Okay.
Good answer.
Love egg salad. Can't get enough of it.
I was going to ask you, tell me something weird about yourself, but I think you just did. He loves mayo. What's your porn star name?
Oh, it would be Pepino Hanover.
Pepino Hanover.
It's your first pet in the street.
That is good. Yeah.
Pepino Hanover.
I got to say, since we started doing this, I'm very impressed with the amount of people that know
Right off the get.
what
Yeah.
your porn star name is supposed to be. What's yours again?
Fowler Barberry.
Fowler Barberry. Okay. Mine was Scotty Johnson.
What kind of a pet was named Fowler?
Oh, I thought it was your middle name. I thought it
No.
was your middle name. It would be Dwight.
Do I? Okay.
Dwight Bar. That's pretty boring. That's like some
You had an
generic
animal named Dwight?
generic Midwestern missionary porn is what I
Wait, you
specialize
had
in.
an animal named Dwight?
I named him after Dwight Clark.
Oh.
I was a big Niner fan as a kid.
Dwight Clark. Wow.
Jarvis is currently looking up porn name on Google. That's awesome. This will be a good question for you.
Yeah.
Who's the most famous person in your phone?
I got a lot of them.
I know. We have a top dog.
Can he
right
beat
now.
Philip? Philip is
Philip Boyd's his top dog.
Oprah.
Yeah, I heard that one, Oprah. Jamie Kaler's one of them. Is he listening? Jamie? Is he out there?
He's actually driving over.
After
He's
this-
running,
after
he's
this
running
show.
a little bit late.
After this show, he's
I'd
going
have
to be
to
huge.
say it's a toss-up between Sandy Bullock and Robert Rodriguez, I'd have to say.
Okay.
A toss-up between those two.
Solid.
Say you calling her Sandy.
Well, that's how
I
I
like
like
that.
listen in my phone.
You
So.
should
Okay.
start a group text, a group chat, and figure out who's more famous. See
Yeah.
what they say.
I got to go with Sandy.
I'm going with Sandy.
Yeah.
She's such a pleasure to work with. I did her film Premonition, and she's just the nicest person you could ever imagine. Like, beyond nice.
She seems like the nicest person you can imagine until she doesn't want to be, and then boom, she is running that room. I feel like.
Yeah.
Is that close?
Yeah. She is. But she's just, just hugs you at the end of every casting session. Thank you so much, and just I appreciate. I mean, she's like, I can't believe that guy cheated on her husband, Jesse. Whatever.
Jesse James.
Yeah, Jesse James.
Top 3 Sandra Bullock movies. Go.
Speed, Blindside. I only got 2.
Speed, Demolition Man, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Wayne.
Love her in Demolition Man, and I have to say Blindside. Yeah, she was great in that.
I got The Net. The Net?
The
But that was good. Yeah,
was
the net was
good.
good.
With that
yeah.
girl from the
ahead,
bus.
ahead of its time.
Yeah, that girl,
That girl from the bus.
The Net, Speed, Demolition Man.
She filled in. It's like she wasn't originally that role. It was, I forget the actress that was. She had to drop out
For
because
The Net?
Yeah, no, for Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
There was an actress that dropped out. She had creative differences, and then she dropped out, and Sandy stepped in.
Creative differences with Demolition Man?
Yeah,
Okay. That's a whole nother podcast.
That's a podcast in
creative
itself.
differences.
Um,
That just means you're difficult.
By the way, we've made a few little Seinfeld references. Had we had more time, I would have had you try and string up some questions because I don't think either of us have been stumped in. It's been a long time. Probably since
Next
the show
time.
went off
What,
the air.
Seinfeld trivia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you got two masters right here.
Yeah.
He's got his manager trying to quiz him, and he's telling me the questions. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm like, this guy's
Yeah. Out of his league.
So out of his league.
If you could be any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
Brady,
Brady?
totally.
It's a
Brady.
good answer.
Yeah,
That's
Tom Brady.
that's I'm sure a very popular choice.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Do you do any celebrity impressions?
No,
No. You collect anything? Never been arrested?
no, never been arrested.
No?
Don't collect anything.
Favorite all-time movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Oh.
Favorite TV show? No, this one.
Seinfeld.
If you can go to tickets, you get tickets to any sporting event in the world, what would it be?
The U.S. Open. No.
Federer Nadal final.
Yeah,
That's what
right,
you
yeah.
want right there, Wayne.
No. Probably the Super Bowl, because those are tough to get. Super Bowl. And they're always the most expensive tickets, I think.
You've never gone with your connections and with the Patriots being in the Super Bowl almost every year. You never made it
you
happen.
think I
right?
would have, but I never
Yeah.
did. Yeah. I've always liked the comfort of seeing from the armchair and watching it from
Right.
TV and seeing the replays and stuff like that. You don't get that at a game.
Right.
Everything happens so quickly, and it's just a lot of distractions.
A lot of commercials you gotta sit through.
Yeah, and I like to focus on the game itself.
Yeah.
Being at the stadium, I don't think I'd be that focused.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Where'd you watch the Super Bowl when the Eagles won this year?
My buddy's Patriots Bar, who he's very fond of Eagle fans because he used to own Sonny McLean's.
Oh, okay.
And he
Big
owned
Boston bar here in LA.
Big
Yeah.
Houston, Boston, Wilshire and 26. Across the street from us was a Philly bar called The Shack.
Yep.
Owned by Pat. Pat was a great guy. We used to play each other in flag football, and I swear he brought in a lot of ringers because there's no way half those people were even patrons of that bar. But
Sounds
anyway,
like a
I'm
Philly
not gonna-
thing to do.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to get into that. But when Pat left to go back to Philly 5-6 years ago, Jimmy said, "Hey, you'll always have a place at my bar." So
Oh, that's awesome.
he got out of the bar business. We moved over to South. Pat fans moved over to South. They welcomed us, took us in because the new owner was a Kiwi. And he knew nothing about Boston sports, gutted the whole place, left some memorabilia, but the big thing is what we have reserved seats all the time, and he did that away.
Oh, wow.
After having reserved seats for 10 years. So screw you, go to South. They took us in for 3 or 4 years, and then Jimmy opened up another Boston bar called The Garage on Motor and Palms. So
Great
it's funny
spot.
too because half the bar was Patriots, and it's separated by the kitchen. So you got a small bar which holds about 250 people. Then you got the big part of the bar which probably holds about 400 people. He had security come in. He hired security in case there were any fights. But I tell you, there was no fights. No
There's
nothing.
not a lot of animosity, though.
There wasn't. I'm glad they went. If it was Giants fans,
fans,
I would have been pissed, and there would
Totally
have been
different.
fights.
Totally different. Boston fans and Philly fans have felt like kindred spirits for a very long time. Being on either end of New York, you've been the brunt of most of our anger. So
Yeah.
I have no ill will towards any Boston.
I'm glad they
teams.
won. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, look at that story. Your
Amazing.
starting quarterback goes down. Your backup comes in. I mean, he takes them to. Everyone's like, "Oh, the season's over." He takes them through the playoffs and wins the Super Bowl. I mean, what's not to like? It's
a great story.
It's that what's his face that
Who are you
Mark
cast-
Wahlberg played in
Invincible.
Invincible.
Well, all right, let's test you real quick before you get out of here. All right, I'm casting the Eagles Super Bowl run movie.
Yeah.
Who plays Doug Peterson? Who plays Nick Foles? Who plays
Nick Foles is easy.
Who plays Alshon Jeffrey?
Nick Foles. Who plays Nick Foles?
Nick Foles is Napoleon Dynamite.
Whoa,
That's easy.
Come on.
That's
What?
easy. John
Heder?
Bro,
Yeah.
this is-
Have
this
you
is
seen
the-
them next to each other?
Yeah, but
This isn't a
identical
comedy,
twins.
Mike. This is not a comedy.
Oh, we're
we
going
won the
drama?
title.
I put
all right?
Bradley Cooper for
Thank
full.
you.
I put Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
He's not enough Phillies. He just did what's it called? That other Philly movie.
Which other one?
Silver Linings
Silver
Playbook.
Lining
Linings.
Book.
Yeah.
I put him as Peterson. I'd put. Jeez.
Dennis Quaid. That may be a little too old.
Yeah, he's a little too old. Dennis Quaid. He's past his.
We could come back to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun exercise. Who's playing Alshon? Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, there you go.
Tough to get right now, man.
This is going to be a big time
He is
movie.
tough
He
to
is
get.
tough to
We
get.
need
I think
stars.
he's a little too
Well,
good
Michael
for
B.
the-
Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's a little
Now
more
we're talking.
realistic.
I think that'd be more realistic.
Spielberg directing.
Chadwick's a little too big, I think, for your little Philly movie. I think.
My little indie film.
I think he is. I also hope Matt Cooper is not lying with his porn name on the message board. Thunder Longhorn. That is fantastic. I hope he is not lying about that. All right, 2 more questions. Then
Sure.
we got to get you out of here because our
Can I
guest is
stay and
running a
watch
little bit
Jamie?
late.
Can
yeah,
I
of
stay
course.
and watch- okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's running a little bit late right now.
Okay.
Very Hollywood. He's got a fitting and then an audition. He's squeezing us in, luckily. First thing you check on your phone when you wake up in the morning.
I check my email because of casting. I always have like some from producers
Some
or director or
emergency?
something like that. Yeah, some
Okay.
fire I had to put out for the day. So emails I'm checking. Then Facebook.
What's your walkout song if you're an MLB player?
That's a good one. Jeez.
Dropkick Murphys shipping up to Boston.
Dropkick Murphys. Oh gosh, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Think about it. Last one.
Yeah.
And I've asked you this before
What?
because this is a topic that we like talking about frequently. If you had to go after any food record for most amount of stuff eaten in like 10 minutes, what would it be?
It'd have to be hard-boiled eggs because I could down
Hard-boiled eggs. That's not what you told me
deviled
before.
eggs. Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs.
Our research department is looking up the record for right now.
Deviled
We're
eggs.
always in shock.
I could probably do about 60 deviled eggs.
You think you could do 60 deviled eggs in 10 minutes?
All right, 40 deviled eggs in 10 minutes.
But that's insane.
I could do that.
40 deviled eggs in 10 minutes.
That's not even chewing. They're just sliding down your throat. You half those deviled eggs. You just put them in, and there's no chewing involved.
The record, before he tells you what it is,
Yeah.
we're always blown away by how much the record
probably
is
like
for
80 or
certain
something.
things. And go ahead.
All right, so in 1 minute,
Oh, 1 minute.
Joey Chestnut ate 30 hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, yeah, hard-boiled eggs. I'm talking deviled eggs.
No, for sure. And then there's there's no devil. Yours is very
There's got to be a
specific.
deviled egg. Dude, that amount of mayonnaise, though?
Somebody ate
Like-
120 of them in 8 minutes.
120 deviled eggs?
No, hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs.
So it's harder to eat a hard-boiled egg than a deviled egg.
It is because
Yeah.
they're already halved. Deviled eggs are halved
Well,
already.
you can have them and throw them down if you like.
And, they just slide. There's no chewing involved.
All right, so this is the important question then.
Yeah.
Are you willing to come back as soon as humanly possible?
Who's making deviled eggs?
Dude, I will figure out how to make deviled eggs. If he's going to come in studio with a camera and try to eat 40 deviled eggs,
They got platters of them at Costco. They were already
Done.
made at Costco. They're already
done.
made.
You know how easy it is to stop at Costco and drive up here? Will you come on the show and give it a try?
Sure, I'll do it.
Wow, 40 in 10 minutes.
All right, 40 and 10 minutes.
Because Marfuji's the only one who's followed up and tried to eat 2 pizzas.
Did she?
She ate 1 and like a slice.
Was
Very
it a small
impressive.
pizza, medium,
Medium
Large.
Domino's.
That was a
Or
large.
large
That
Domino's.
was a large, yeah.
large.
Yeah.
Well, give her credit for that.
Good for her. That was great.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Deviled eggs, man. That's got to be like one of the worst throw ups after.
I don't think so.
Deviled eggs are fucking tasty.
They're
They are.
tasty.
Look at the protein. Too.
A little paprika on top of there. That is nice.
Go to the gym and then come on the Mostly Sports Show and eat some protein after that. Oh man, I love that. I love as soon as I ask that question, I just hear the fingers tapping, trying to get that record, and it's always exponentially more than we think it's going to be.
It's always way more.
Yeah.
Crazy, unbelievable. Thanks for coming on, dude. Wayne
Hey.
Morse, tell people where they could find you on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. Wayne Morse Casting, Instagram, Waniac83 on Instagram, and Wayne Morse Casting on Facebook or Wayne Morse. Yeah, either one.
All right, cool.
Just don't hit me up for jobs.
Yeah. All right. He needs a little help casting, not those kind of jobs, though. He needs the camera operators and readers, though.
Yeah, that's true. I'm always
Yeah.
looking for people like that.
People are way better at social media than we are. Like
Yeah.
Wayne's very consistent across the board. It took
I
us
have
a
to
long
be.
time to get all the mostly sports things somewhat in sync.
I did it this morning, and what should have taken 5 minutes took 45 minutes. If I could just sync it all up, and I can't stand the people who on Facebook, like every time they tweet, it goes to their Facebook, and you got to read some stupid observation from some idiot, about.
That's what Facebook is, though.
That's what Twitter's for.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
did
not Facebook.
an Instagram story the other day where I had the weather up like 6 different times because I had no idea how to take it off.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like it said like 71 degrees,
Oh,
71
on the
degrees,
story. Yeah.
30 degrees Celsius. It's like,
I
what
thought you were
the
doing that as an FU to everybody in Philly right now.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not that
You
dick.
have to put that on. I don't know how that just goes on to yours.
I don't know, man. No idea.
All right. Well, Wayne, thank you for
Oh,
coming
real quick,
on.
Wayne. Jamie's. Do you have any questions for Jamie that we should ask? Anything poignant?
I put him in one of his first movies.
So he has you to thank.
Yeah, I put him in one of his first movies. I did. It was Spanglish.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
the,
Sandler.
Adam Sandler and James Brooks who directed that, which was I thought was a really good movie. And I'm not a big Sandler fan, but
Yeah.
except when he did the younger stuff like Billy Madison, which I love.
Of course.
Because people are always comparing Billy Madison to Tommy Boy, and I think Tommy Boy is a way better movie than Billy Madison. You've got more quotable
Totally.
lines.
That's not even
you got more
close.
quotable lines in
Oh,
Tommy Boy.
I've never
than
heard
you
that
do
comparison.
in Billy Madison.
You think Tommy Boy's better or Billy Madison is?
I think Tommy Boy's a lot better.
So do I. Yeah.
Than Billy Madison, although I love Billy Madison, but I think there's more quotable lines in Tommy Boy than there is. And
You said Billy Madison or Tommy Boy?
Oh, Tommy Boy
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah.
day.
That's
not
why I've
even
never
close.
heard that because I don't think it's even close.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. If you could put Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison together as like a double feature versus Tommy Boy, then it's an argument.
Yeah, you've got quotable lines in Happy Gilmore, yeah. But
Yeah.
everyone always brings up the same stupid ones in Happy Gilmore. But Tommy Boy has like the slight, small nuances, like, I mean, when he's getting off the plane and David Spade's meeting him, and he's got he's got his luggage in a plastic bag, and he's like, "It only took you 6 years to graduate." He's like, "Yeah, well, most people that's a doctor, but
They're called
but it's just like
doctors.
small, it's just small little things like
Some
that."
My
people take
favorite-
8 years to graduate. Yeah, they're called doctors.
I love it when they're pretending to be the flight attendants. And they go, "Hey, it's us. What are we serving tonight? Chicken or chicken?"
Chicken.
That's classic. That's funny.
Those two guys working together must have been.
I know. Black Sheep is one of the most underrated movies, man.
But they must have been crying, cracking each other up on the set all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I would love to see like the outtakes from that.
Farley's been like 20 years. 20-some years, 15, something like that.
That's got to be.
It's a lot.
That's a long. Jarvis would know.
Crazy. All right, our guest is running a little bit late. Again, busy day in Hollywood right now. Coming from.
He's great, Jamie Kaler.
That's why we want to get him in.
He's a New Hampshire boy too.
You're like the opening act.
I'm an opening act.
Yeah.
If he's a New Hampshire boy, he's not Boston.
Yeah.
Boy, he's New Hampshire.
He's New Hampshire. Yeah.
But he went. He was in the Navy, I think, for many years, and then decided to do stand-up, and then through stand-up he got into acting. But he'll tell you that.
Yeah, pretty crazy. He's got a lot happening.
But yeah,
lot.
I met him first when he was at the Sonny McLean's. He would frequent that bar.
Okay.
A lot of Boston people like John Hamm and Michael Chiklis. And
How come we're not seeing more of John Hamm? How come he's doing shitty tax commercials that are god awful? But why are we not seeing more of John Hamm?
That's a good question.
He's got a big movie coming out.
Yeah, he does have.
He does?
Beirut.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got
About
that
time.
coming out. But yeah, but prior to that, he's.
You think it's his agent, or they have a tough time putting him in the right thing, or
I think just since Mad Men, it's just he's so like epitomizes that role and stuff. I think
but like he was good in The Town as a detective.
He was good in The
and, like,
Town, yeah, and it's one of my few favorite movies by Ben Affleck because I'm not even a Ben Affleck fan.
He was good in that Galifianakis movie where he was the
Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Yeah, with Gal Gadot.
That's still on my DVR.
Yeah,
it's been like 2 months. I haven't watched it.
You have a DVR?
DVR.
I didn't think anybody has those anymore. I thought everybody streams stuff.
That's a good question. He's definitely one of those guys
I
that's
still got
not
home
living
cable.
his best acting life.
Right.
Because that's a talented dude, good-looking dude, does comedy, does serious. You'd think he'd be, in a lot more stuff.
And he's getting accused of eating the director's half a bagel on a TurboTax commercial. Come on.
Do you know how much money he's
that's
making
big
off of
money,
those
though.
commercials?
What do you think he's getting for something like that?
Oh, he's got to be making. It's got to be
$5
like
million.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's making like at least $5 million.
There is no way
yes.
he's making that much money.
Oh yeah, do you know how much money
it's
the
like TurboTax or
pull-
Rocket Mortgage, one of those things.
He's making a ton of money.
$5 million?
At least.
Who's making more, him or Flo from Progressive?
Him?
Okay.
Him or Jen Garner?
Flo's killing it, though.
Still him.
Ooh, more than Garner.
Yeah.
You think he's that big of a name?
Yes. For the commercial that he's doing, yes.
John Hamm. John Hamm. We're gonna get a picture. See, that's the thing. Like, wait, Jarvis doesn't
Everyone
even know who he is.
confuses
Jarvis
him.
knows who everybody is.
Everyone confuses him with guy from Walking Dead, Morgan. What's his freaking name? Jesus, I'm a casting director.
John Bernthal?
No, John Bernthal. No, he's a good buddy of mine. He's a great guy. But no, the one who plays
John Bernthal.
the one with the bat. And
I don't watch it. I have
don't
a buddy
watch-
who's on the show, and I don't watch it.
I have a strict rule against people that threaten to kill my mom.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. People confuse Jeffrey Dean Morgan and John Hamm.
Okay.
I don't know why.
right.
Really? John Hamm is way more handsome. Look, we rate women all the time on the show. Hamm is a Beverly Hills 9. That's a fucking handsome dude.
That's like
man.
the nicest thing he's ever said about
Yeah.
anybody. Normally it's like a Van Nuys 6.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who lives in Venice, I believe, like right off Abbot Kinney. He looks homeless half the time.
We had that system when I lived on Martha's Vineyard. They were like a Martha's Vineyard 10, but they were really like a Boston 4. So, yeah.
Wow, that's got to be brutal in the
A
vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard 4?
If the uptick is talking about a Boston, like a high Boston
Well, because
number.
you're on an island and your choices on that island are very slim.
Yeah.
So they're it raises their rate exponentially
Yeah.
to a 10.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's, just over the hill. But the difference between a Van Nuys.
It's 45-minute
And a Venice.
ferry ride. It's a 45-minute ferry ride. And you
Jeez.
can become a 10 on Martha's Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard. Again, thanks for coming on. You are
All right,
welcome.
yeah, I'm done, right?
Anytime,
I'm done, yeah.
anytime we want to talk Sox, Yanks. Maybe even give a call in next Wednesday or next Monday because we got a big series coming up. Hopefully something happens in this series, like someone plunks Aaron Judge or something, or someone charges the mound at Chris Sale.
Well,
we
I
need
will. If I'm
something
not working,
to happen.
If I'm not like I'm in between projects right now. I just finished this one for TV, which I'll never do TV again. But it wore me out.
Yeah.
It was it's
Yeah, you seem a little off today.
it was it wore me out.
We need something to happen in the series because the players are there.
Yeah.
We got the young talent. You guys have the young talent. We're both going to be good this year. We need something to happen. Something Veritek-ish or A-Rod, something like that. We need something to make this get going again.
Yeah, but that rivalry is tough to duplicate. It's like the Lakers.
It comes
Celtics
around
rivalry.
every once in a while, though. Something happens.
Yeah.
If someone plunks if Chris Sale puts a 97-mile-an-hour fastball between the nines on Aaron Judge, guess what? We're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
back, baby.
We're back, baby. All right. Thanks, Wayne.
All right, thanks.
That was good.
Hell yeah.
Longtime listener of the show. In studio. That's great. Love
Talking some movies.
it. Yeah. That's good stuff. People love that. People love that when we talk about the Hollywood stuff. And now we're getting a different view from behind the camera. I mean, sitting with Pacino and Ali. That's a big one.
We'll have to have him
It's a
get
big one.
Bernthal on the show.
Yeah.
And he can
Bernthal,
he can apologize to my mom on air.
Oh, yeah.
That would be good. I think my mom would appreciate an apology. You know, she didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, I thought you were making like a Walking Dead reference, and I was like, I didn't get it
No, I was
because I don't watch
making
the
a
show.
reference to John Bernthal
So you got a personal
saying,
thing
I will
with
kill
Bernthal.
your mother
Yeah, that's a big
because
one.
I dropped 50 on him on a basketball court.
Okay.
Absurd.
So you're still holding that one, so we probably shouldn't have him come on?
Bro, if anybody
We'll
says
have
they're
him
going to kill your mother, you're going to remember that one. I mean, that's a tough one to
That's a
forget.
big one.
Even Jarvis is agreeing with that one.
That's a big one.
Keep my mom out of your fucking
You haven't
mouth,
seen him
guy.
since?
No, I've seen him around.
Okay.
I mean, we have a lot of mutual. He's not a basketball player. He's just like a muscle guy that thinks he can play basketball. So he's around a lot of basketball people. But don't threaten my mom, dude. That's just ridiculous.
Tied for number one fan of the show, Leslie Keller. With that,
Exactly.
we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Jamie Kaler.
In the future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
I have water for you. All right, welcome back. Big thanks to Wayne Morse. He's still fired up about not having water in the green room. That's all right. There's two fridges, you know. There were two refrigerators. There were two cases in the big one, not the little one that you were checking. Anyway. All right, you may know our next comedian from such shows as My Boys, America, Fact vs. Fiction, the hilarious Dads in Parks, and the spot-on website, the Dadlands. I knew I liked him when our first mutual friend on Facebook was a bar called Big Dean's.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Like every guest we've had on this show, for some reason his sports allegiance lies with Boston. His views on poop versus chocolate and trying to get to the movies when you have kids, I think are borderline genius. Please welcome Jamie Kaler.
That might be the best intro I've ever had. That was really...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it covered all the bases.
That was it.
That's honestly my entire life in about 30 seconds.
That's it. So we're done.
Well done.
That's it?
Well played.
Oh, nice. All
Now
right.
that I have kids, my whole life is poop versus chocolate. And that's it, yeah.
So we started watching a lot of your stuff recently. I've been watching it before, but really heavy on the kid stuff. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-month-old.
I have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in it.
I called you yesterday at about 5:30, and I knew as soon as I hit send, I said, dude,
Yeah.
this guy's got 2 kids. He can't talk right now. But it was like the 2 seconds that I had where I could sneak out and talk.
I use it as an excuse. Sometimes I just fake phone calls and go, oh, I got to take this. And then I just walk around the block.
Yeah,
and get out of the house.
Yeah.
And then yesterday my wife was like, what are you doing? Get back. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's business. It's
That's
I
why
got
it's
my
like,
agent.
you go, we're talking sports. And I go, listen, I love sports. I still, like I watched the Masters. It was like I had to plan the day out to go like, listen, I'll do all the errands you want me to do in the morning. We'll do whatever you want.
Right.
From 11 to 3, I'm watching the Masters. The kids can be, I'll watch them in the yard, but don't harass me.
Yeah.
And of course, middle of the Masters, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't watched much Sox late. I haven't watched a full game. I can't watch baseball anymore now that I have 2 kids.
Of course.
You can. Who can sit through a 9-hour game?
I'm single with no kids, and I don't want to watch a full baseball
It's
game.
really pain. I can't believe that I used to go and watch an entire game. Like I had the package when I was a single guy living in Santa Monica, and I'd go, I got to be home at 4 because God forbid I miss the first 3 innings of
opening
a
throw.
7-hour game.
Yeah.
What am I thinking about?
I actually thought of you the other day. It was yesterday. Same thing. We were getting ready. We had to go down to my in-laws yesterday, and the kids are running around. Obviously not the 2-month-old. He's not running around. But I needed time. I needed to watch a little bit of the match. I wanted to watch those guys tee off.
The Masters was great.
final group.
It was a great. Spieth almost came back. It was
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
Dude, he was great. I mean, we can get into all that stuff, but it was one of those moments where I was like, I need everybody out.
Yeah.
It was McIlroy just teed off right into the woods on one.
Could you believe that?
That was unbelievable. And my wife was talking about how I needed to do this and then change this guy, and I was just kind of like, I thought of you because I was like, you
Yeah.
are sitting on your couch right now. I know
No.
you weren't.
Yeah.
Just legs up with your takeout from Whole Foods or Panera, wherever, and just enjoying the Masters.
I was in a fucking parking lot in Burbank on a fold-out chair, like baking in the fucking sun.
I have friends like him too.
Complete opposite.
Yeah.
And I live vicariously through them.
of
And
course.
sometimes obviously I pine and I go like, why would I do this to myself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got married late too. I had a midlife crisis in reverse. I had the bank full of money. I ate out every night. I slept in every morning. I saw movies when they opened and I thought to myself, how can I fuck this up?
Right.
And so now I have a wife and 2 kids and I live in the valley.
And you went extreme and fucked it up.
oh yeah.
pretty
it's-
bad.
Yeah, it went south.
No
quickly.
more 10 a.m. Friday opening weekend of movies and anything like that.
I haven't seen a movie. Last movie I saw at the theater was Blade Runner 2049. I'm not shitting. And now if my
I
friends
thought you
go,
meant the original.
yeah.
that would have been good.
That would have been good.
Honestly, that was close. It's close to that. And now if my friends go, did you see a movie? I just have to say, just know anytime I say I saw a movie, I saw it over 5 nights in 20-minute increments.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask me, we should go see a movie. I'm like, what are you talking about? Go see a movie. Somebody asked me the other day, let's go play golf. I'm like, where the fuck am I going to get 5.5 hours to go do something? And it's not
Golf,
gonna
I
be
have to
playing
lie.
golf.
I have to lie. I have to literally go, I'm working tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then she goes, and then she'll track my phone and go, like, you're working at a golf course. I go, yeah, it's a thing we're shooting.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Lie.
Tiger's here. And
Yeah, it's a commercial.
well, I mean, one of your stand-up things, it's hilarious because it's the one job that you can say you're going to do, being a stand-up comic, and not bring home a check.
Well, you can leave
Like,
the
that's
house at night, not
perfect.
come home with a check.
Yeah.
It's stand-up comedy.
And you told everyone, you said, if you guys don't laugh, I'm fine. Just shut up for a little bit. I just want a little bit of quiet. And I just want to sit there and go sleep in my car, which
Yeah.
I've thought about doing until 4 a.m.
The other day I went to the grocery store and I left one of the items that my wife had specifically sent me for. I took out of the bag and I left it in the car. And so when I go in, she goes, "Where's this dishwater soap I asked for? What the fuck is wrong with you?" And
Genius.
I said, "I bought it." And I showed her the receipt, and she saw it, and I said, "They must have not bagged it."
You're thinking a step ahead.
Yeah, you gotta
a couple steps ahead, actually.
It's criminal that way.
Tuck
and
that
then,
one
so
away,
I went
Mike.
back in the car, and I just drove around the block and sat. I went to a coffee shop for like 40 minutes.
That's fantastic.
And then I got home and I was like, I had to talk to the manager, and I showed him the receipt, and I said I got home without it, but he gave it to me. I held my ground, and here it is.
That's fantastic.
It's pretty genius.
Not only are you just sitting in your car, but you left the soap in there. Like you're thinking a few steps ahead.
You have to.
That's big
Well,
time.
if you said, if you didn't buy it, it's not on the receipt.
Of course.
It's your fault. You're an idiot. But this one, the store fucked me.
Will you employ that within the week?
I will try it tonight when I get
Okay.
home. Absolutely. Because if we go to a takeout from a Mexican restaurant and they forget the chips, then you don't want to mess with.
Yeah,
my
but you
wife,
will have eaten
know?
the chips on the ride home. Is
You have
what
to.
will have
That's why you
happened.
get an extra
Yeah.
bag of chips.
We still get the blank stare. Like I was you.
Yeah.
Because I got married at like 48. And so
Okay.
yeah.
So I have
yeah.
I have 4 more years.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You'll make it. You reach this point in life where you either have to have a family or sign up for Life Alert.
Well, I want
Because no one's going to find you for 3 weeks, brother.
Yeah, I want kids so
That's
they
the
take care
thing.
of me. That's the only reason I
They
want to have a
don't.
kid.
They don't.
At some
To
point,
change
they-
my diapers at someday.
You need a life alert. If he didn't show up even to this show, I'd be like, he's probably doing something. I'll do the show myself. That's pretty funny. So Dadlands, Dads in Parks. This was it. I mean, you're a dad. Is this
Yeah.
so easy for you to do? Because it's hilarious and it's
pretty
spot
easy,
on.
yeah.
It's super spot on.
Well, you know what's funny? Even before this, my whole stand-up act was the drunk single guy who lived in an apartment. I've always been autobiographical, so as soon as I got married, I started talking on stage about the kids, and then somebody's like, hey, you should write a blog for this website, Babbel, and I started doing that, and they were like, hey, you should do some video content, and so we did that, and everything just kind of fell in. But yeah, it's all just autobiographical.
How's that go over at home? Do you get like real?
What's
personal?
funny is my wife she's never watched it. She never saw My Boys. She has no idea what I do for a living except to go like, I have to work today. And she goes, how much does that pay? That's all
Yeah.
she cares. I could be in a movie with De Niro and she'd be like, she wouldn't care. She'd be like, where's the check?
So she's not thrilled about this hour.
She doesn't even know. Oh, she
'Cause this
doesn't
is
know
pro
I'm
bono
here.
right
Oh,
here.
she
Yeah.
doesn't know I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't have to go home right now. That's as soon as I
She
text him. I said,
doesn't know I'm
before
here.
he even finished the text, he's like, "Yeah, I'm
Yep.
coming on your show." That's it. Okay, done.
Yeah, this was literally to get out of the house.
I've got you're a few steps ahead of me. I have a lot to learn from you, but I've become very good. And my boy's like 2.5 months old. I am very good at pretending to be asleep in the middle of the night. Like I'm fantastic. Even when she's hitting me to change a diaper, I'm so out of it that she doesn't want me changing a 2.5-month-old diaper.
She'll resent you for the rest of your life for that. Because I did that.
I've accepted that.
I did that.
I've accepted that, and I'm okay with that.
I
because
still
it's
have to
worth it.
live
It's
with
worth
that.
it. It's worth it.
Last night I got up. The 3-year-old was screaming in the middle of the night, "Mama!" And I went in, and then I laid in the 3-year-old's bed for like 45 minutes.
See, I can't do that because it just makes it that much worse. If I go lay in my 4-year-old's bed and it's not Mama, then we're all up for the rest of the day.
And it was a princess bed, which is like 3 feet long,
Yeah.
and my leg, it was painful. But I was like, it's just you get to a point where you just accept your fate.
Yeah. And you did it so late. That's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. I'm a 53-year-old guy with 2 kids under the age of 4. I mean, it's like getting a DUI as you pull into the driveway. We were like, I was almost home.
I was so
now-
close to
so
living,
close.
living the dream.
That's
Do you talk
always
to the
what
cops
happens.
and you're like, you can't arrest me. I'm in my driveway. And he's like, no, I can.
I remember that myth. Like if the keys aren't in the car, like you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
do anything. Like, yeah, we can. You're hammered.
Yeah, except the fine's not $10,000; it's $1 million spread out over 18 years. It's pretty, and it's not loss of license; it's loss of everything. It's pretty painful.
I knew as soon as I called. Again, like as soon as I called, I was like, this is an awful time. But again, I had 2 minutes of nobody around, nobody saying anything. I was like, I got to do this right now. And you were like, no, dude, I got to call. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk real quick. I was like, yeah, I get it. I know
The
exactly.
only question is, what's
the
the alternative? Just to live every joyous year, so it's the
Exactly
same
what you
over
had
and
prior to
over
having
and
kids.
Over and but how does that story end?
I don't know.
Happily.
I'm still writing it.
Happily.
You know, I mean, variety is the spice of life, especially out here. So if you're back in New Hampshire or Boston or New
Sure.
York, you just kind of marry somebody within 5 years of you, probably younger.
16 years.
You can do that in LA. My ex-girlfriend's 17 years younger
Yeah.
than me. That's okay. I'd be arrested in Philadelphia if
Right.
I walked around with her. So
Amber Alert goes off.
But
He's
then-
dating again.
But then the beautiful thing is out here, you jump on the fucking Bumble, you jump on the Hinge. Like
I never did that. I never online.
I'm
dated.
newly single, so I'm new to all of
just
it, which
out
is fantastic. I just got
pulling
a
it.
5-year relationship, but if you go up to 50, like a 50-year-old in Malibu is like a 30-year-old in like Wildwood,
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can go any. I woke up today. What do I want? What's for breakfast?
I know. I got.
So every
I
day's
live
a new.
that.
It's choose your own adventure.
But
is
it
how you
reaches
write
this
it.
point where it's like there is this weird like, what's the meaning? it's so
So you're yes, you're a little ahead
Next
of us.
time if you ever sit back and you go, what's the meaning of all this? Stop that and just go catch a movie and have a couple drinks. I was going out every night of the week. My friends are like, you
Yeah.
want to go out for a beer? And I go, okay.
I read a
let's
lot
go for
of
a couple.
Kierkegaard. I read a lot of Camus.
Do you?
Existential
Existential.
absurdism. Very. I
Kafka.
like to
Metamorphosis.
to get deep into it. That's how I stay sane. That and Tito's.
A lot of Tito's.
A lot of Tito's.
Lot of Tito's.
That was the problem. I was like, there was nothing to stop me from going out.
Right.
Like the best thing about kids is they go, you really should go to bed right now. tomorrow's going to be a bad morning.
And out here, you
Yeah.
can go out every night.
Every
it doesn't
night.
matter what
Every
night it
night.
is.
The weekends are the worst. The
they're the
midweek
worst.
stuff's
Yep.
the best.
100%.
Talking to a buddy the other night who's in the same boat you are, he said he's actually drinking a lot less because of this Tinder and Bumble stuff. A lot of the people are, because you don't need to go out with your buddies and get hammered and work up the courage to go talk to a
Right.
girl. God forbid somebody would actually go and try a pickup line on a female in 2018. Pretty crazy. I think I'd still
you
be
get
drinking
slapped.
as much.
Yeah.
It'd be weird.
We had to go out and earn it. You had to go
Yeah.
out. It was just random. You
Yeah.
know, if you had to run into somebody and try to have sex, but yeah, Bumble seems
That would
way
actually
easier.
That
be
happened
like
in movies. That didn't happen.
How much sex are you having on this thing, Bumble and Tinder?
give
I
me
mean,
a
you're
friend.
a
Let me-
debit. You got the Peter Horton 30-something.
Peter Horton.
Look.
I gotta Google that.
That's I've just dated myself. You got because you got the grayish beard with the cool surf hair.
Peter
I mean,
Horton.
I'll bet you get some fucking
This guy's
damage
good,
done.
man. This guy's good.
You'll bang. I bet.
Keep it coming.
Honestly, dude, I'm guessing.
Mike,
And you look like you have a lot of money. I don't know if you do.
Mike, you're off the show.
I'm done. That's it.
You're done.
You are.
He's got
Seriously.
standing
Give me some
reservation at
numbers.
one.
I'm moving into your guest
Give
house.
me some numbers.
Can I put this in a little bit of perspective?
Yeah, like times a week or numbers of people, number of what are we talking?
Past year.
In
You're
the
just
past
hurting
year?
yourself
How
right
many
now.
people-
Well,
in the past
I've
year?
only been single for about 6 months.
Past 6 months. Literally starting the night you were single. Which is, I don't know how you do it. When I broke up, I was straight out into action.
15.
That's fucking great, man. That's 2 a month. That's 2+ a month.
We traveled around with Facebook and did some football games around the country. And I don't know whether to be saying this, whether it was my phone or his, going onto the Tinder and Bumble and all that stuff. When the plane landed in Fort Lauderdale and Miami, by the time we got off the plane, like 6 minutes later, the amount of numbers was staggering. Staggering.
How many of those would you be like, that was a great experience?
Almost all of them.
Really?
I've not had a shitty a bad experience yet on these dating apps. Not one. I'm being honest with you.
But are they, do you know immediately, like, this is going nowhere except to sex?
Well, maybe I've employed my own weird strategies because I talk to my friends that are single about what they do, and they seem to have this. I don't know. I need to hear somebody's voice. You got to talk to them on the fucking phone.
Got to.
You got to. Yeah.
Out.
And I'll make a video if I'm walking to the tennis court. I'll hey, what's going on? Make a video.
You already sold me on tennis court. Tennis
That's
court
the
alone.
tennis court I'm in.
Boom.
Well,
Hey,
I mean-
look at me and my Rod Lavers ready to do this. Let's knock this shit out.
You got-
I don't know. My Stan Smiths will break it out.
So when I see you on Grindr, I'm gonna shoot you a video. We'll be good to go.
Dude, honestly, I really sometimes wish I was gay. It would be so much easier. If I was gay, I would be great.
I know. I think my wife's
Grindr's
listening
the gay
now.
one, right?
I'm being careful.
Grinder's the gay one?
It is the gay.
Okay.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
I never online dated.
Jarvis, nice work on that picture.
Man, I
brother.
could
That
have
was
got
good.
some.
Well, because how long you been married?
So
a while.
6, 7, almost 7 years.
All right.
6 years. 6 years.
All right, so that's a little shorter than me. Same thing. Like I wasn't really around when, and you guys probably dated for a while beforehand.
2 years.
and-
We cross country
Okay.
dated. She lived in New York.
Oh, really?
She was in Manhattan in the Lowers Village. So
Okay.
it was that romantic, like walking around Bob Dylan style in the city,
Yeah.
snow. I'm holding up an album cover. It was
That's
magic.
bizarre you say that because my wife's from here and I'm from New York. Whenever we go back home and we're in like Central Park and it's snowing and
Yeah.
it's beautiful and we're walking through the same thing, the West Village.
Yeah.
And she's like, every once in a while, she goes, what do you think? I go, about what? She goes, this is unbelievable. I said, yeah, but in 12 hours, that white, beautiful snow is going to be black. And you're going to have to wake up
That's
at
New
6
Hampshire.
a.m. and it's 20 degrees. Yeah.
I say New Hampshire, people picture a covered bridge with the leaf change, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's, oh my God, that
I
must have
think
been
of
beautiful.
I think of like Funny Farm.
Yeah, it's 10 months of winter and 2 months of bad sledding. It sucked ass. It's fucking horrific. Baseball practice in the gym because you couldn't go out till May.
Yeah.
Then it was mosquitoes and humidity. You're like, well, why would people live here?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Doc Holliday, man. I need the dry air for my lung disease.
Getting old, man.
Dude.
And while we're talking about getting old, maybe it's time you update the old IMDb picture.
Black
you
and
look
white.
like a spry
It's all
21-year-old.
Dude, every time I look at that, I'm like, I gotta change that photo. God dang it.
I saw that a little while ago, and I was like, dude, okay. And listening to you, I'm like, this guy's fucking 50.
Actually, you know what I
Oh my
should do? I
God.
should slick my hair and do like a 1930s photo where you're looking up at the sky, like Errol Flynn. I should go backwards in time.
Errol Flynn.
Come on, sucker! You know what you're doing.
You went far enough back with the Peter Horton reference. We don't need to go any further.
Well, yeah. I
There
don't.
we
Who's
go.
a
We're
good
getting
Who's
it
a good
up.
guy today that you get that you look like?
I don't know.
You know, you wear it well. You got the what's the Dos Equis guy? the most interesting man in the world.
That
going.
dude's old as fuck.
I know,
the
but
new,
you're
the newish guy.
You're the
I
younger
got another
him.
new guy with
Dude,
Rob
he's
Riggle.
like awkward Marfons tall, that guy.
Because
I
the
don't
most
know.
interesting man in the world asked for more money, and they said, "You know what? You're not that interesting," and they recast.
That's
him.
what happened.
And now he's
I
doing
think
like
they
tequila.
put somebody else in.
He's doing like tequila commercials.
Yeah.
And the new
Wow.
guy's no good. They got to have Rob Riggle in the back making fun of him.
No, the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing's a disaster. Disaster.
God,
Should we talk some sports? No.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I could talk about this all day. But we should talk some sports.
Fucking Sox are killing it.
So, all right, for some reason we have way too many Sox fans coming on this show, so we decided to bring another one. You're the second one in the same
We
day.
don't have to talk Sox
Second
at
one in
all.
the same day. Yeah.
Same day. Like that, we've outdone ourselves. You guys are 8-1. All right, you got the Yanks coming into town. The Yanks are my squad. What can we do to make this series back the way it used to be with like Veritek and A-Rob? What do we need to do to make this?
Veritek and A-Rod. Let's go back to Mickey Rivers and Nettles and the gang.
We'll see.
Fucking
I
throwing
was
haymakers.
like 4 years old when that went down, but yeah,
Hey.
that's good.
I never saw
My
Ted
dad-
Williams
my
play,
dad
but
was
I know
telling me
Ted
about
Williams
that.
footage. Come on, catch up. I wasn't around for Sinatra, but I'm a fan of Sinatra. Yastrzemski and the gang, Jim Rice.
What do we
Fred
do to
Lynn?
make this a little more interesting?
Fight.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
I
to
know.
hit somebody. Somebody needs to steal signals and throw a ball. Here's the problem.
Well, you guys are
I
already
don't
stealing
hate
the
Yankees.
signals.
Aaron Judge seems like a pretty good guy.
This is
Yeah.
a very likable Yankees team.
They
Like young dudes.
But here,
Yeah, they're
here's
having
the problem.
fun.
It's not just them. I think sports in general. It used to be about the team, and now everybody's me, me. Of
course.
Like Larry
It's the
Bird
brand.
should have said, "I'll see how I play tonight," but he didn't. It was like we, and now everybody except
Yeah.
for the golfers. Now Spieth and the gang are like we.
They're
Like
buddies.
me and my caddy are a team.
Yeah.
The one sport that is actually but everybody else.
Right.
LeBron James, who has changed. He could have been the greatest athlete in any sport. He's a freak of nature. But you could be a little cooler and not be like, I'm the king of the world. But that's the problem is the guy who's the king of
Yeah.
the world makes the money commercially. Tim Duncan, who keeps his mouth shut and has 6 rings,
Mm-hmm.
nobody's going to remember that dude. And I guarantee kids today are like, who the fuck is Tim Duncan?
Oh, they don't know Tim Duncan.
That's
Isn't
probably
that
the way he
sad?
wants
It's
it,
such
though.
a sad world.
That
though.
might be the
But
way
that's the
Tim
way it
Duncan
is.
wants
But it's how
it,
to.
though.
But they
Of course, yeah.
monetize. It's
and
about
that's what Kawhi
making
did.
money.
It's about your brand right now.
It's a brand.
Carmelo
It's-
didn't want to leave New York. He doesn't give a shit about a ring. He's the king of New York. My dad has been in restaurants when Carmelo's walked in. Place all stands up and starts clapping. For what? One playoff appearance
Is
in
that
fucking
really
10 years.
You
yeah.
said that once before. I didn't
Absolutely.
believe you. I
He
thought
is
you
a
were
kid.
But
just
he didn't
making
want to go.
shit
He
up.
didn't want to go to OKC.
He
His
is a
brand in OKC
cancer.
is nothing. He's all. I was glad to get rid of him. I was very glad to get rid of him. Let's start the new era. We are terrible right now, but that's your brand. That's it. That's all they care about. You
Yeah.
telling me Paul George isn't going to come to LA next year?
He's
That's a done deal.
Well, especially when they
Basketball,
don't make
too,
the
man.
playoffs.
I mean, that's why Golden State was so great. They started passing the ball around. Carmelo's like a black hole. You're like, dude, my parents came to the game tonight. Can I get a shot? Dude,
Yeah.
one. No, dude, it's me.
Clay, Clay in the first quarter last night had more points in the first quarter than he did dribbles. He took 16 dribbles, had 22 points.
The game he
That's
scored 60, I believe. He had the ball in his hands for about 11.4 seconds.
Isn't that
of
crazy?
the entire game.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
that's
so
a great
good
way to play
nowadays. They're
basketball.
all freaks of. I mean, it's all the athleticism's off the charts.
But
It's
here's the opposite. It's not like basketball is being played the same way everywhere. Houston is doing something completely different than everybody's doing.
I
They're
agree.
playing straight ISO, pick and roll.
Yep.
3 guys on the wings. They're like all their baskets are being created by 2 people. So that's not beautiful basketball to watch if you're a basketball fan. It's pretty fucking boring. I mean, they're doing the same thing every single time. So we'll see. I'm still on the Golden State train for winning the title. What about you?
yeah, until it gets proven. But I mean, everyone's picking Houston now, right?
It's bandwagony though. I don't
Except
know.
Vegas.
I still, to this day, man, I would never count LeBron out until the end. Is Love going to
Well,
make
that's
it in the
what I
playoffs?
said
Or
before.
he's still injured, right?
No, Love's back.
He's back.
He's back.
He thought I was great when I said I took 7-1 that the Cavs will win the championship
That's
this year.
too low. It
I don't-
should be like 12 or 13 to 1.
But they're going to have an easy road through the playoffs. But what's Boston going to do?
Wait, Kyrie's gone, right?
Yeah, he's done.
They're
Hayward's
out.
not coming back. Hayward ran
Everyone's
the
like,
other
oh,
day.
they
Big
also
deal.
try to build up rivalry, so you watch like, oh, Toronto and Washington,
fucking
and you're like,
Toronto.
guys, yeah. When LeBron wants to, it's going to be tough to beat him.
Yeah.
He's-
Toronto's
He's still,
what,
I mean, he
3
still
and
should be the
17
MVP
against-
every single year. I know that. But
I said that last
we
week.
expect too much from him, and it's like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, and people get sick of it. I mean, Harden's going to win it this year without question. We know almost halfway through the season
Harden's
now
gonna
who's going to win.
Harden's going to win it, yeah. I think so.
I give LeBron a lot of shit on this show every week. I'm going to give him one fucking compliment. The dude's about to play 82 games in his 15th season.
15th season.
That is a
He's
pretty
still,
impressive
too,
stat.
like when he snaps it on and he goes, he kind of plays it cool for a while, and then somebody does something to piss him off, and he leaves from the free throw line,
Yeah.
jams it over 3 guys, and he goes, and you're like, that dude
Never seen anything like
He
it.
should be cloned.
Yeah.
Like what genetically is insane.
And
in
then
a
some-
league of genetic freaks.
Right.
He is the ultimate
It's
genetic
crazy
freak.
to
Yeah.
get into the NBA. It's like I love now. I like Larry Nance Jr.
I love Larry Nance.
fun.
I'm pissed the Lakers let him go.
I can't believe he jumps higher than his father
It's
does.
insane
It's
watching him.
insane what that guy can do.
And whenever anybody says, Toronto, even though they're 3-17, they're rolling. They have a chance to beat Cleveland. Then LeBron comes out, drops a triple-double in like a half.
Yeah.
He's like, I still got it. I could do this whenever the hell I want.
I mean, has he ever really been injured?
LeBron?
No, that's the thing.
Like little nicks here and there. He's missed like 10, 15 games.
Right.
Nothing
But nothing
too
big.
crazy.
I mean, Jordan needed a year or
And
two
plus,
off.
Those 15 years,
Yeah, but-
every year he goes to the championship. He adds, which basically has another half a season.
That
season
begs the
pretty much,
question, though. What's going on behind closed doors? Couple needles here.
I like it.
don't know.
do you
I like
think?
it. I like it. I love it.
Whoa!
I love it.
We've never seen this before.
I love it.
What's going on with his hair? Because when he was in high school, he was balding, and now he's got a full head.
It's full, but
going
now
on.
it's going back again. Like, just shave it.
And now
Like,
this
I'm
fucking,
getting there.
And now
I'm
this
getting
fucking
close.
guy has a show about a barbershop. You don't have any fucking hair.
Yeah.
You hate LeBron James, don't you?
Oh, I can't
dude,
stand
he
this
goes
guy.
nuts.
I don't know. He's very unlikable. I want to like him and I want to appreciate him, but he's just like this whole new thing about him suing Nick Saban.
Yeah.
You know, the head coach of
No, I didn't
Alabama.
see that.
So Nick Saban has a show in Alabama with Julio Jones, a former player at Alabama, where they sit in a barbershop and shoot the shit. Right, something that's been going on since like the beginning of time,
Yeah.
when people have had hair. So LeBron has a show on his uninterrupted thing, basically the same thing, sitting in a barbershop with his buddies
He sued
talking,
him.
and he's suing Nick Saban.
What about the movie Barbershop? Is he going to sue them
What
too?
about Coming to Fucking America?
America, which was where a barbershop came from.
He
Yeah,
beat Joe
exactly.
Lewis's ass.
Yeah,
Cuba sitting in the chair. That's
Yeah.
a classic right there. Arsenio Hall's best work, probably.
like who's dating himself now, coming to America.
But the best part was Saban basically said, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck you,
I'm
sue
going to
me.
keep doing the show.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a barbershop show. Are you
Here's
kidding?
what's funny: when he first came in the league, remember he had those crazy ads with the goofy glasses, and it was Sprite or something. He was
Yeah.
really funny and a good actor, and you're like, man, that guy's. And now it's like Eminem, dude. You're worth $100 million. Put a smile on your face. Why are you such a cock?
So you've opened Pandora's box.
it's-
I got one more complaint about LeBron. Just came
ahead.
out today or yesterday, I believe. So they asked him about his free agency. He goes, all I care about is my family. Whatever my family wants me to do, they're everything to me. Motherfucker, when you left Miami, you came out and said, my mom and my wife did not want me to leave Miami, and you still left. Like, come on.
Yeah, he's
Dude,
keeping
it's
his
a
options
Q-rating
open.
line. It's like pollsters said. You
He
need to
is
talk about your family.
Flipping the narrative every
But if you
fucking
put up,
second.
hey, the King just broke another record, and that comes from your own account, people are not going to like you. Patrick Reed, we're going to transition into the Masters, called himself Captain America in a press conference on Saturday night, and everyone was like, what? No.
Here's
You
the
can't
difference.
do that.
Patrick Reed doesn't want you to like him.
I like Reed,
which
actually.
in my way, like
He's
I
great
like
for it.
him for that. LeBron
Yeah.
wants you to like him, but on his terms.
You know what I didn't know is that Patrick Reed's not that liked on tour.
Not at all.
No,
I didn't know that.
People can't stand him.
He's a killer in the Ryder Cup.
Killer.
Killer.
Captain America.
You
as
said
Mike
best U.S.
He's
Ryder
the
Cup
best
player in 20
US
years.
Ryder I've ever seen, honestly.
He
I've never
is
seen a
deadly.
guy that good at
He's
Ryder
killed
Cup.
everybody in the Ryder Cup. He's that match against Roy McIlroy.
Yeah.
Whatever that cup
That was
was.
great.
It
But
was
people
one of
said,
the greatest
when
cups
he
of all
told
time.
everyone to be quiet, that's really just. I said that's likable. He's showing a little personality. This is great. He told Roy to shut up after Roy just sinked a monster putt too.
And
that's
in that
good for
Ryder
golf.
Cup, we'd already had it wrapped up. It was a meaningless match
Yeah.
on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But he went out and he wanted to prove a point. And I like that about him. He doesn't care if you like him or not. That's a good quality to me.
I thought he was going to fade yesterday too. He played
Yeah.
that was maybe the hardest 18 I've seen someone stumble through to win a tournament.
You were waiting for him to collapse with
He
speed
kept putting in
and
the woods,
everybody.
but he'd go, that was a par.
you need a little luck in life, though, right?
He had a couple of really-
13.
Yes.
13 was like, that was that, that weird Back to the Future 2
Yep.
alternate universe moment. That ball
Yep.
could have rolled back into
Yep.
the water, and his
Yep.
life is very different today.
Yeah.
So
Did he chip it in, or was that the day before?
that was the day before.
Yeah,
but
he
he
chipped it
still
in.
birdied that hole. And then
Yeah.
on 17, he hit the hole, and the ball would have gone by about 10 feet.
But
But it's,
it would have gone off the green, I felt
Yep.
like. That thing was flying.
Oh, the one that hit the pin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? I think every tournament comes down. Ricky Fowler could probably look back and go,
totally.
one stroke here on Sunday.
He's
We
been
were
runner
like,
up 3 times in
yeah,
majors.
Yeah.
life changer.
3 times. Unbelievable.
A lot of luck.
So he's now the best golfer to never win one.
Rick
Here's
Been
the
that
other
way
thing.
for a little while.
I mean, he was. He's been
Everybody
that.
else is so skinny in their little cool outfits, and Patrick Reed's like, Craig
shirt,
Stadler.
drinking beers
Shirt half
after.
He's got a
untucked.
big
Stadler.
gut sticking
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
with a baby face, and he's pulling the sleeves up on his shoulders, and you're like,
I think it's great.
he would
I think it's
he would
awesome.
be
awesome.
he would kill people at a country club as a shark. He'd be like that guy, and he's a killer.
Yeah. So how much did you actually get to watch yesterday? Did you watch the whole back nine?
I
on the
watched
later?
the whole. No, I watched the whole 18 yesterday.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
good
I mean, I
Sunday.
was juggling stuff, and the kids were with me and stuff. But
Yeah.
I told my wife. I said you should run. She ran her errands. So of course I cordoned the kids off in like a space they couldn't get out of, and then just muted them.
So you got it down at this point.
I'm getting pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Well, they had ice cream sundaes. I gave them anything to kill time.
Well, I didn't even realize it yesterday, but I put something up on Instagram because I had to give my daughter lunch yesterday. It was a shake, like a smoothie, and a lollipop. And then as soon as I put that up, I was like, that's probably not the best lunch for a 4-year-old girl.
I think it's a wonderful
She couldn't have
lunch.
been happier. And it gave me a little time to
Dairy,
watch some golf.
She covers dairy in that, and
Yeah.
whatever fruit flavor the lollipop
That's
was.
exactly.
That's a couple.
Look at
food
that as
groups out
healthy.
of the way, yeah.
But more importantly,
Who
it gave
cares?
me 5 minutes.
The world's
Gave me
going to
5 minutes.
explode in a few years anyway. Who gives a shit? Like they're going to see adulthood. None of us are. Come on.
I got a couple New Hampshire questions.
Yeah.
If you want
Hit it.
Yeah.
I got a little New Hampshire trivia.
Okay.
Do you feel confident about your home state?
Not at all.
You got that from before.
I left at 18.
Left at 18.
I went to Boston University,
BU.
and then I was on a ROTC scholarship, so I went in the Navy and went to San Diego. It's funny, I'm a Boston. I thought about that this year. I was like, I've lived in California way longer than I lived in the East Coast, but
you
stick with who you are. Of
course.
I should be a Dodgers fan, but I'm not.
I'm getting close to that.
I used to
that
like
change.
the Padres a lot. I liked the Chargers when I lived in San Diego a lot because that was it's funny, you go to Patriots to see a game, it's like freezing cold, like Lambeau Field or something. San Diego's the best.
It doesn't seem like football though.
I know, but
It's
it does.
kind of bizarre. I remember my mom was out
Feels
here
like
visiting
drinking on a Sunday.
during the Army-Navy game this year. That was the only game being played in between, and it was in Philly. And she was like, "That's crazy. It's 80 degrees here. Our windows are open. Like, could not be happening." And then in Philly, there's 2 feet of snow on the ground, and they're playing
But
football.
that's how
She's
the
like, "This is
Army-Navy
weird."
game should be played.
I like that.
100%,
Yeah.
absolutely.
They should
But
have
you go to an
weapons.
SC game here.
Well,
Well, now we're talking.
Not like guns, but like swords,
Like old
or
school
a
muskets
mace,
and-
like a mace with the swinging ball. Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's the second time I heard you say something today about the old gun going off. Now you got kids with the emotions and all that. So the old ramrodded gun that's been sitting there
That's
for
right. I'm gonna
300 years.
When they bring boys home, I'm just going to be sitting home polishing my sword, just polishing my sword.
That's going to be tough. I
got
mean,
it.
that's a whole new thing for you, man. And I do not want to miss that because I got the same thing happening. Not looking
We're
forward
gonna
to
talk
it.
about that
Yeah,
a lot.
for
Hit
sure.
me with some New
Go
Hampshire trivia.
Easy one. What's the state motto?
Live free or die. I used to do a joke about it. I go. The state motto is live free or die. Unfortunately, I needed a few more choices.
I think we all know that now from Breaking Bad, right? Live free or die.
Yeah, that's
Is that
right.
it? Yeah.
Here's what's really funny about that. It's on the plate.
Yeah.
And so when I was in the Navy, when I got commissioned in the Navy, my father got me vanity plates for New Hampshire, U.S. Navy. So I'm driving around in a car, U.S. Navy plate that says "Live Free or Die." I was like, "Dude, you're killing me, man!
yeah.
All you did was make me a target. Someone's gonna fuck my car up. What are you doing?"
Oh, we got 5 minutes left. Fuck
Hit it.
these questions. Do
No,
your
hit
questions.
it quick.
Go.
Yeah,
No,
one more. Last one. The first public library in America was established in what New Hampshire town? 1833.
1833, Hanover.
Petersboro.
Oh, I went where Dartmouth was. I
That
took
sounds like we're-
took a
That's all
good shot,
That's
right?
all I would have said Plymouth. I feel like there's a Plymouth.
My
New
high
Hampshire.
school, Manchester Central High School, is actually Riverdale High School because the guy who started Archie Comics grew up there, and we were right on the river, so that's Riverdale. And Adam Sandler's 2 years ahead of me at that school. So I'll never be ever even
That's
close
your
to
goal.
the most famous guy.
Why are you not in all his movies?
I didn't
You
know
gotta
him.
play that
I should
card.
have. I was a senior when he was a sophomore. I didn't hang
Did you
out
pick
with
on-
nerds.
did you pick on him?
I didn't know. I didn't know.
You did just call him a nerd, though. I like that.
He was a sophomore. He wasn't a nerd at all, I don't think.
All right, we fired through some questions real quick with everyone at the end. Adding a new one right now because I didn't get to ask you before. If you were the czar of sports and could change or make one rule in any sport, what would it be?
Oh, Jesus, that's general.
Yeah.
What sport?
I mean, you want to speed up baseball?
I
You
mean,
want to do
yeah.
something with the catch rule? What would you do?
What's this rule I hate the most? That should have been a pre.
Okay, there you go.
question.
Take that one then.
All right, I'll come back when I come back
Take it
on the
back.
next
You
one.
could pass on these.
I'll
you
think
could,
on it.
You could take a sauna with anyone, dead or alive. Who would it be?
Raquel Welch.
Okay. First time we've gotten that one.
I don't know why. I don't know why that came.
Let's go.
My brain went John Lennon, Raquel Welch. That's insane.
Those aren't buoys.
Who'd you say?
Seinfeld.
You said Jerry Seinfeld.
That's weird. That's just weird.
Like another man.
No, and he's always there was like a lot of scenes in the sauna. I was like,
Viggo Mortensen.
All right.
No,
Viggo.
what would be a good sauna guy?
You could be a girl. It could be a porn
be-
star. You could do
Who
whatever
would be
you
the
want.
most fun storytelling?
Mine was Al Michaels.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Al Michaels.
talk stories in the sauna.
We can come back.
Honestly, but here's the deal: you want it to be someone cool, like John Lennon. I would love to have chatted with.
Yeah.
And somebody you like don't mind being naked around. Like you don't want to be around.
Well,
like,
that's why I
fucking
chose a hot chick.
John
Yeah,
Candy.
that's the
Raquel
thing.
Welch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the hottest? Who, if you could go back in time, obviously today I would go with Charlize Theron.
Okay.
God damn, I saw Atomic
that number
Blonde.
one for
It's
you?
It's like a long music video perfume commercial with a soundtrack.
I feel like
from
she
the
doesn't
80s.
get enough credit for how hot she is.
She's so good
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah.
Who,
The Italian
Charlize?
Job was on
Carla
yesterday. She's
Gugino
phenomenal.
always has my. She's got my
Okay.
card.
We're digging a little
Raquel
deep now.
Welch back in the day. Yeah. I don't know. Who's
right.
the hottest chick in history?
Who's the girl from
Heidi
Doctor
Klum.
No that climbed? out of
Oh
the wall?
God, Heidi Klum.
Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
up
know
there.
what? I got Heidi
That's
Klum.
close. Okay.
I mean, come on. That
Yeah.
shows you how cool Seal is.
Yeah, right?
I'll
Yeah.
take Elizabeth Hurley.
Oh,
That's another one up there.
damn, after,
Give me an accent, a little British accent. I'm
Hugh
in.
Grant.
Yeah. With the glasses from like
That was
Austin
always the
Powers,
one we
forget
like.
it.
She must be insane because Hugh Grant.
Yeah, Hugh
I used to do a
Grant.
joke about like it doesn't matter how hot. Like somebody cheated on Halle Berry. How
Yeah.
fucked up are you? Where you're like, yeah, that's not enough.
We talked about Jesse James cheating on Sandy Bullock. You know,
Sandy B.
Yeah, was she? I know. Yeah,
Crazy.
It's crazy.
You're stuck on an island. One CD. What do you bring?
The Clash, London Calling.
Okay. What's your death row last meal?
Filet mignon. I'd
From where?
Sear it.
Oh, you
Low
cook it?
bells. I sear it. This is my Christmas present every year. I get 6 filet mignons from my manager from Low Bells of New York.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
And the
That's a
first
good
time I
manager
got them,
right there.
I brought 5 friends over and I shared them, and I was like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So now I dole them out once every 2 months. I have this like steak, and I do
a good
that
manager.
with, like, yeah, she's
Yeah,
pretty great.
Yeah, talk about that. I don't get anything from
Baked
my manager.
beans, caprese salad for dessert. Maybe carrot cake. Wow. And
Not the
then-
first time you've been asked this question?
No, it is. It is. I'm just trying to think. I don't know. Yeah. What's
All
your
right.
sushi or maybe sushi?
See, this guy, that's why he's got to come back. He's
I
all over the
really
place.
like
He's all over the
food.
place right now.
These questions, I could have come up with some great answers. I just need some more time.
Yeah. Well, we're just trying to imprint them in your head.
Go.
Porn star name.
not porn star voice, porn star name.
God, what do I say?
And didn't we say earlier everybody has it teed up real quick?
Ready to go. Everyone knows it right away. Your first pet and your first street.
Well, it was Fred Bullard.
Okay. That's almost
Wow.
worse than
That's
twice.
pretty bad.
You just surpassed me
What
as the
kinda-
king of missionary porn with that name.
What
You-
kind of animal do you name Fred?
A fish.
turtle?
I,
Okay,
had
a
I had a
fish.
fish named Turtle. Fish named Fred, and I grew up on Bullard Drive, so I always say
Okay.
Fred Bullard.
Most
Fred Bullard.
famous person in your phone. This is good.
Oh.
Tough to beat our top dog right now.
Fred Bullard. That's the most famous person.
I don't know.
He's got to come back for all this stuff.
I don't know about famous people. In my phone. I'm not going to blow anybody.
You're not
up
going to
on
beat
my phone.
Oprah. Oprah's our top dog right now.
I mean, we've all been in Hollywood for 20 years. I have some phone numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'd probably, if I called them, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you calling?
Why do you
me
have my
for?"
number?
Exactly.
Well, a stupid radio
All
show.
right, I'll give you a funny story. When I was doing My Boys, I did the Habitat for Humanity, and Olivia Munn was doing it.
Oh.
And she's like, "Hey, here's my number. Call me. We'll do something." I was like, "What?
She's on the
What
market.
are you talking about?" And then, like a month later, that phone number was changed.
That's tough. Like, do something like do a project or like get coffee,
No,
get a
it
beer.
was a gag. I go because I was engaged at the time, and I was like, I
that's a
remember
tough
going
one.
home to my fiance, going, "Olivia Munn gave me your phone number." But at the
Can I
time,
do
she
something about this
She
or
was
no? Is
trying
that
to
good?
date
I'll have to
everybody.
look for her on the Bumble now that she's single.
Yeah. One of
possible.
my buddies doing the 6 with her right now.
I don't
on the
think
show.
you go on Bumble. You
SEAL
you
team.
call her publicist and go. Hey, how can we boost our careers together? Isn't it? What was it? Aaron
Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing though, right?
It's over.
What? They're done. Yeah.
But were they ever on?
Aaron Rodgers has
Who
moved
knows,
on.
man?
He dates Danica Patrick
Danica
from
Patrick.
the
Does
he?
from the NASCAR. Yeah.
Does he?
At that level, I don't know.
Does
If
Aaron
they're ever in the
Rodgers
same
date
place?
Oh, I see where you're going
Is
with
that
this.
not true? Have you
Oh,
guys never heard the
okay,
rumors?
all right.
I
Well,
would never. I've heard rumors.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Not that there's anything wrong
but,
with
you
it.
know,
Another
I'll
grinder
let it
plug.
go. I'll let it go.
we got to get this guy back like tomorrow. There's a lot left to cover.
No, we didn't even cover all the
Oh, my
Hollywood shit
God.
you wanted to talk about.
I know. I mean, we need some of your good stories, man.
God damn it. All right. What's next?
All right, best celebrity impression or best impression.
I don't have any.
Don't?
I do
Okay.
Jay Leno. So anyway, we got a great show for you today.
Yeah. All
Like
right.
so does everybody in Boston.
That's fine. Tickets to any sporting event in the world. What would it be?
I've never gone to a Super Bowl. One of the few things I've thrown out a pitch at Wrigley. I've gone to almost
you really?
everything, and actually English Premier League. I'd love to see Man
That'd be
United.
fun.
Yeah.
But here's the deal: nowadays, I don't know about you, but I get to an age where it's like people go, "Hey, I got tickets to the game," and I go,
No.
"Where are they?
Yeah.
Like NFL game, I would never go unless I could stand on the sideline. That's my only. NFL's a waste of time to go to a game.
I
You
agree.
can't see shit. You watch the screen the whole time.
And it's commercials half the time.
Yeah. I would go to a Super Bowl. I've never been. With all the Patriots, I never went.
Hockey could be in my backyard. I wouldn't go.
I sat on the ice.
yeah.
We
One
were
time
asking
at a
this.
Bruins game, I sat on the glass, and it was actually one of the
probably fun.
coolest things of all time.
That's cool, yeah.
I've sat up in the crazy boxes at Fenway. Probably the best seats in baseball are on the Monster. Pretty amazing.
That's one of mine too. Sitting
Pretty
up on the Monster.
amazing.
Because I left New York after
Yep.
right after they put the seats up.
You could wear your Yankees cap. You wouldn't even get the shit kicked out of
I've
you.
done that before. Worn Mattingly
It's
jersey.
so sad.
They don't
now.
like it.
Oh, we like Mattingly though. We like Mattingly.
All right, real quick too. I was going to say something about going to a soccer game, which we got to talk about next week because I need to see how much you would have to get paid to go to a soccer game.
Really? EPL? You wouldn't go to an EPL?
Wait,
Oh no,
game?
EPL. Yeah, but like we drove by the Honda
I-
Center the other day.
MLS.
Kids soccer game with single moms. That's what we're talking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd go to that.
Totally.
I'm gonna
I have
end
to
up
go-
going
I
to
have
that
to
because
go.
my daughters love.
I go to
soccer.
that. I
Yeah,
go to
would-
that now.
I would go to that.
And there's no betting line.
I went
up
to an
on the bottom.
MLS game one time. It was like watching
Well, that's
high
what I was
school
going to say.
soccer.
What does like field tickets go? We got to go. We need you back on.
I'll
very
come in.
soon.
I'm back.
We
I'm
need
not
you
leaving.
back
I'm
on
staying
very
here for
soon.
tomorrow.
Still got a million questions for you. Tell
staying for
everybody
the
real
next
quick
show.
where they can find you.
You can find me on thedadlands.io or on Facebook. Just Google the Dadlands and come find us on our Facebook page, and we'll commiserate over having children.
Done.
Awesome.
Jamie, thank you so much for
love you
coming
guys.
on.
Thank you
Wayne,
for
thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you. See you next week.
Later.
Future talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.